Здравствуйте. Очень приятно for the new people. Hello, I'm speaking Russian today. How are you, my friends? Happy holidays. Becky, I just sent you a hilarious video on Insta. So go over there and laugh at it. I got all my besties in here. I got Penny D, Mustard Mischief, Deb Scotland. I've got Becky, and I, of course, have Zephyr up at the top. Cindy, Dogwood Cottage. Can somebody drop Cindy's link, please? Thank you, Cindy. I just woke up like this. Actually, Stephen and I are going to let my hair get a lot longer. So it seems to be behaving. It used to get kind of banged out after a little while. So we're letting it get a little bit longer, a little bit crazy. We got a little shaggy over the actually, that's my hairdresser's pet peeve, is that people call like a little shaggy short bob a shag. And that is not what is a shag. A shag is actually what Jane Fonda had in the 60s and what Joan Jett had. Joan Jett is 67 years old. Can you guys wrap your head around that? How is she 67? How is she 67? Like, I'm like freaked out. It does not make any sense to me. So, boys and girls, how is everybody today? How have your holidays gone? Are you full of cheese? Are you full of sweets? I made something awesome last night. Oh, shag. I know what your shag is. Mustard Mischief. So we had a very mellow birthday for Greg yesterday. And one of the things he requested a gingerbread cake. So I made those gingerbread men the other day. I shared a photo with some of my gals here, and the one was cut in half. It looked like it had a rough go, but they were delicious. So I tried to scale the recipe for an actual cake, and it didn't quite work out. But I mean, it's still good enough. But I made homemade marshmallows, and so everybody had a stick, and then I took my roaster and roasted. I'm going to highlight Denise Burnside here. Fastest growing YouTube channel ever. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm a little bit angry. I'm not angry at all. Denise, you're putting in the work, and that's one of the things that you find out when you have a YouTube channel or a social media platform like this. You find out if you put the work in, good things happen, So if somebody can drop Denise's link and also Cindy's link, Cindy is going to get a little bit of a pump next week. And I don't want to bum anybody out, but you all know what my one of my best friends passed away in the middle of the month. And there was some distance between us since I had kids. We were kind of going in different directions, but she sadly passed away, and I have to say it like this, sometime between the 10th and the 15th. And I have been grappling with how to navigate my grief on this, because we're not having service. I'm supporting her mom. Her mom is up here, and Cindy, wonderful Cindy, who is up on my screen right now, did prior to that a video, live with Dave Murphy and Fiona. You guys all know, avid gardener. It did this wonderful video about how to navigate grief when you are a widower or a widow. And I thought it was really important at the time, and I thought it was really generous. It's one of the things, when we have content like this, when we're producing content like this, we want to do things that will help other people. And that's one of the reasons why I shifted gears and I started doing the numerology plus tarot, because the numerology kind of gives us the landscape. It gives us the world that we're stepping into for the year, and then we can kind of figure out how to navigate from there. So really a very, very important piece that Cindy put out with some really amazing people. And I've actually gone back to it a few times and just kind of tried to get my ship going in the right direction, if that makes sense. So I am still in mourning, and I'm doing the best I can. Like I said, we're not going to have a service for her, so I'm actually trying to figure out how to best honor my friend. Those of you that know me for some time, you also know that I'm a fiction writer. My husband is excelling at being a fiction writer right now, but I actually wrote a 700-page, 3-part trilogy novel about my experience growing up in the town that Tiffany and I grew up in. And I only lived there for 2 years, but my other friends that were there, they they had a bit of a broader experience. It was a very interesting experience in this particular town. But I wrote a book about it, and I think I never published it. I never self-published or released it digitally. And I think I'm going to go back and rework it a little bit. And even Greg had suggested that. Greg is actually writing his. Greg's not here. He's upstairs sleeping because he had a great birthday yesterday. So his book is actually processing the grief of losing his best friend Chris to COVID. So a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of processing. Sometimes we got to help ourselves. That's what it is. But I do want to highlight today. If you go into my community post, you're going to see that I posted a link to that video. Go over there, give her a sub, go check things out. And it's pretty interesting. So that aside, let's get to it. Let's do what we're doing today. So today, what we're going to do is, this is a dovetail video from my Queen Camilla video. You guys saw, if you watched it yesterday, I did a review of my 2025 predictions, and the Queen Camilla one was the one that I got the least accuracy on. I came in, I think it was 65%. 65% accurate. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't unverified because they were likely private conversations that had taken place behind the scene. My other videos from 2025, you'll see my accuracy is at 85%. So it's pretty remarkable. It's the first year I'm doing that. It's the first year I'm grading my tarot readings and my psychic readings. So pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll have my own overall final grade before New Year's. So love button number 4. What is that? So let's giddy up, Buttercup. So I'm going to put in the comments here. We'll do some Camilla stuff, and drop your questions for Queen Camilla 2026. And we're going to scroll across the bottom, and we are not going to have a timer on that. Okay, perfect. Ed banner. There we go. And we're off. Okay. So drop your questions in the chat for Queen Camilla. And we're streaming on both of my channels. I have a channel called the Psychic News Report that I just drop things into it every now and then. It was a collaboration I did with Rick Paul, Psychic Medium, Thor Sandalwood, who is a Vedic astrologer here on YouTube, and also my friend Rob Akampora, who was the straight man who was not a psychic. He was the only one not a psychic. So let's giddy up. So one of the things that I wanted to do to kick this off was we were going to see how Queen Camilla's main focuses are going to be quarter by quarter, month by month. So I am going to kick it off. I want you guys to chat away in the chat. We're going to bring up the tarot screen. And if you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and do it. What do we want? Bigger or little? Bigger, little. There we go. All right. Emmerly, good to see you. I saw you were bouncing back and forth. And I want to let you guys know, I have a little bit of a cough and a little bit of a runny nose. And I'm a little afraid that I'm getting sick because everyone has the flu in New Jersey right now and abroad. Apparently everyone has the flu in general. I'm just trying to, there we go. There we go. See, crystals are not just good for raising your vibration, they are also good for framing your shot. And I'm going to ask that my mods be on the lookout for trolls in the dungeon. All right, kids. So let's look at Q4 for Camilla. Everyone has the flu in Sweden too. I know it's going around. We'll take a look at that. We'll do about a half hour or so, maybe a little bit more on Camilla, and then I can break it open for general questions. We could do that, and then I'm going to have live Hipsy hours after this. So I will see you guys over there, hopefully. What is the main focus? Q4, quarter 4. That's January, February, March. Main focus, one card. Ace of Cups, things that she is not happy about. We're using the, hang on, Haley. I got you, Haley. If you have questions, guys, just put them all in bold. I'm not going to think you're yelling at me at all. So I do think in the first quarter of the year, I think that Queen Camilla is going to be grappling with the cessation of some things. Again, I think that this is the medical treatment that we have going on with King Charles. I think that's what's going on. It does look as though we are... Ace of Cups in reverse is either like a false start or a start and a stop. Like, hey, we're going to try this, and then we're not going to do this. So I do think initially very, very happy. Remember, we're talking about 3 months here. Initially very, very happy, very supportive, looking toward the future. Hey, Trish. And then over here, we have 9 of Cups. It's not working, so we have to go in a different direction. So I think that we get a little bit of a struggly poo here. A little bit of a struggly poo. I do want to highlight Be Gay Kermit as a new member. Welcome to the club. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Membership, you guys get first dibs on all videos. I let you guys in on all videos. And we typically do a members only stream where I answer questions for you. I have not done a members only stream this month yet. It's just been kind of hectic. Like I said, I got thrown a monkey wrench. So I think Q1 for Camilla is going to be a little bit tricky. I think we're going to have a solution, and then that solution is going to be pulled out. So what can she do? What can she do? In just 1 second, guys, because I do want to bring up, whoops, get out of there. I want to bring up some notes for myself. Got some notes for myself. Hang on, kids. There we go. I'm just getting my notes. Really appreciate your patience on this one. So if you remember from yesterday, January is going to be a personal month 8, February 9, and March 1. So this kind of makes sense with that reading that I just did, because it looks as though we start out kind of completing a process, and then in March it gets flipped over and changed into something else. What is that in March that we see? Two of Pentacles. It's a different treatment they're going to do. Page of Cups, because something is not working. And 6 of Swords. So he will either have poor efficacy with the new treatments that they're going to start, or he's going to have a poor reaction to it. And I think that then we go into a different direction with a different treatment plan. So I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. What about Q2? Q2. And that'll be April, May, June. April is a 2-month. May is a 3-month. And June is a 4-month. What is her main concern? 10 of Wands. This tells me that things get a little bit extra burden. So in tarot, just to give you guys a little lesson, when we get reverses, when I teach reverses to my students, they're always excited to learn their reversals, and then because they're like, oh, I'm gonna get another meaning for the card. But I actually teach 3 meanings at the top, in the upright, and 3 meanings in the reverse. And so it's building energy, stable energy, decreasing energy, and the same way when we're in the upright. So there's actually 6 meanings to every card. And it's not the opposite when we go into reversals. It simply is not the opposite. Sometimes it's overburdened. That is what this is. This is kind of like an overload. We're really not able to proceed at this point. Again, this is April, May, June for Queen Camilla. 8 of Swords. I think they're going to take away another treatment. And if the king is still in treatment, I think they do take away a treatment. We get 4 of Cups, kind of basking in the moment. That 8 of Swords is we don't have to be burdened with the treatments. We don't have to deal with that. And then Queen of Pentacles, we start working toward sustainability. I want to say sustainability, the relationship sustainability. And that means enjoying the good times that are at hand. We lost my mother-in-law to cancer, and she fought for I think it was 12 or 13 years. It was a significant amount of time. And I have to say she was gorgeous, and she was thin when she passed away, but gorgeous, still with it, still maintained all of her dignity. She really had the most elegant exit ever. She was had the presence of mind that she called all the family to her the morning she passed away, grandchildren included, and she told everyone how proud of us she was and how honored she was. Yeah, you can ask a question about Trump. Just put it in bold. I'll save it till the end. Go ahead. Watching your family member make their exit, it's you want to grab onto those moments and do all you can. So let's go into, we're going to go into August, September, October. What is her main focus there? 6 of Wands. So I do think the Hierophant in reverse. What is the Hierophant in reverse, guys? Hierophant in reverse, seats of power. This is where our seats of power are waning in their strength. So again, August, September, October, if we're in this third quarter, seats of power, we're starting to lose our strength there. But I don't think that we lose the romance, and I think we'll find out if the king is still with us. I do think we find out in this third quarter how notable the situation is. So I know the news is reporting that he is in better health right now. I don't know if that is accurate. I think maybe that's PR. Fourth quarter of the year, a year from now, what's her main focus? The Empress in reverse, the Chariot in reverse, Justice in reverse, and the 4 of Swords in reverse. I think that this is adjusting to a different status, adjusting to a different station in the world and in the royal family. So I think we're looking at that, guys. So let me hit some of your questions, because I do want to look at your questions. Oh, Lucy. Yeah. You know what was really strange? I'm just going to highlight your comment. What was really strange about my mother-in-law is when she did pass away, it was, we did the morphine protocol and all of that. And it was, and I was there with my husband and everyone. So it was at the same time that she would have these coughing fits in the middle of the night. She would always have this bad period at about 1:30, and she passed away at the same time. So we're wondering if there's any correlation. Cindy, that is way too generous. Hang on there. I'm just going to start at the top of my questions. I'm going to come back to you. I promise. So, I just want to go in order. Otherwise I'll miss somebody. So Haley, asked, what is the relationship like between Camilla, her son, and the king? So let's look at 3 parts of the puzzle here. 3. Ah. I'm going to go back to the live chat so I can see that live chat. There we go. All right. So here is Camilla, her son, and the king. So Camilla, 3 of Pentacles. This is her trying to establish those connections, keep everybody on the same page. Her son, 3 of Cups in reverse, is curious because that is excess. So is that an excessive sucking at the power teat? Is it oh, Lucy, thank you so much. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. I'm gonna drop you some cards in a minute. Just sit tight. I'll do a little reading for you too. So I do think that her son is perhaps looking at the relationship with the king and the relationship with the royal family as like a benefit for himself. And he may be taking liberties and he may be flashing that about just a little too much. Maybe flashing that about a little too much. I know this a lot because I have a son that does that. Son is a little cocky, adorable kid. He got his new car yesterday, so I'm a little bit worried. It's got more horsepower than the last one, but we'll find out. We'll find out. So he's a good kid. He deserves it. And the king. The 3 of Swords. So I think the 3 of Swords is for the king, and this is in reverse. So that is healing energy. That is, and I love this one because it's the goose. We got a goose for the 3 of Swords in this deck. This is the Curious Creatures Tarot deck. I love this deck. I learned about it from Mad World Tarot, who I have the utmost respect for. I love her voice. I wish that my voice sounded like that instead of this grating, horrible New Jersey accent when Anna Miller shows up. Oh my God. Oh my God. You have no idea. So I think that the king is trying to bridge these gaps. Now, curiously enough, I want you guys to notice 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, and 3 of Swords. So you're getting a little lesson here. So the Pentacles are about stability and longevity. They are the physical things in our world. They're the permanent things in our world, but they're also like the legacy of the family. We also have 3 of Cups here in reverse, which is the emotional aspect of it, the excess, the excitement, the good feelings of it. And then the 3 of Swords is about the painful things, the logical, painful things that we have to get over. But in the Kabbalah Tree of Life, Ace, 2, and 3, all of the tarot cards are associated with the Kabbalah Tree of Life and the pathways in between. It's a very complex subject. I cannot explain it all here in 5 minutes. It's actually like a long course that you have to sit down and really study. I am still studying the Kabbalah Tree of Life as it reflects on tarot. But Ace, 2, and 3 are all up in the ethereal. So they're all things that we're thinking about. Nothing becomes physical until the 4s. And that's where we lay our foundations and things and ideas come into fruition. They become real. So in this relationship between Camilla, her son, and the king, it's still in the planning phase. It is still in the planning phase. So I have seen in the cards and psychically that there is a little bit of protection for Camilla. I think that King Charles is very concerned about the treatment of Camilla by the royal family. He's trying to set up systems and stations for her to be taken care of, as any husband would want to do, as any wife would want to do if they were making their exit. They would want to make sure that their spouse was well cared for. And I think that Camilla has a much more practical aspect of how to navigate these blended families. I think that she really is looking at things. Oh, I just barked my own shin. I think she's looking at these things as being polite and courteous and not oh, Lucy, that's a good one. I didn't even know about that. I think she is looking at courtesies and being polite and you know, I don't think that Camilla gossips per se. I don't think that she's mean and vicious and spitting venom all the time. I think you know when Folly shows, she like kind of we all saw her when Joe Biden farted in front of her, and I'm sorry I had to say that. Her face was hilarious, it was priceless. She was like very, very funny. So I think that she is being very practical about it. And she really does want to establish good connections, not privileges for everyone. Hey, Merck, how you doing, honey? Happy Christmas. So, whereas I think the son is looking to not change, but improve the situation that he's in, and the king is just looking to say, "Well, let's just let bygones be bygones, and you know, kind of enjoy the moment, live in the moment." So, I do think that this kind of connection between them is very, very interesting. All in the threes. They were all in the threes. Very neat. Very neat. So, is it what should Camilla do to correct this situation? King of Wands in reverse. She should stop directing the traffic on this. Her son should be grateful for the blessings that he has. I'm not slagging up her son. And the king needs to continue on the path that he's continuing in, trying to make sure that things are just so for his beloved. So not bad, not bad, not bad. So I think that that's manageable. All right, so I'm not going to make any medical determinations. However, I'm going to switch decks real quick. I'm going to use a Housewives Tarot for this, just for a little bit of fun. What I do think is I have long said that I believe Camilla has some kind of bloodborne disease. I know she has a back injury that's quite troublesome. But I have a back injury that's quite troublesome. In fact, my disc has been driving me nuts and I'm really upset about it. So let's see how Camilla's health is. And we'll go quarter by quarter on this one. How is her health in Q1? 7 of Swords. That's troubling. What is going on? Noun, adjective, Knight of Pentacles. That is, because it's a pentacle, it's going to be something hard and firm. So I'm going to say that perhaps this is back injury. Karen, go feed those dogs. I didn't feed my cats yet. So my cats were all looking at me like, are you crazy, lady? So my daughter will feed them. She's upstairs. So she's awake, moving about the cabin. So I think that, you know, the medical troubles that she has, I think are related to harder substances in her body, perhaps bone on bone, that kind of thing. What about Q2? What do we got in Q2? Strength. We're regaining some control over it. Queen of Swords. I do think that that's going to be a minor procedure. When we have swords, it can either be surgery, it can be an injection, something like that. You guys who have been following me for some time, you know that I go for epidurals in my spine to correct this bloody disc that's driving me nuts. I did research some different treatments. I might be doing something neat. Lucy, stick around. Q3, 6 of Cups. She is absolutely getting better, but it is in spite of treatment. It's in spite of what's going on. Q4 next year, 4 of Cups. I think it really starts to get to her. And I think she does too much with that Judgment in reverse. So do we have an issue with shaking? Do we have an issue? Is that a larger thing? Is that a larger thing that we're looking at? 3 of Cups. 2 of Pentacles. I do think that it is related to a treatment that she is getting. So I know I have a nebulizer for, when I'm suffocating in my lungs. Um and that will make my hand shake. I think that the shaking is due to a treatment that she's having, or a treatment that's wearing off. So if she is getting like epidurals or something like a pain blocker, I think the shaking is partly related to that. I'm getting that it's related more to the bones and the like some bone on bone action that affects some of the nerves around the area. So that's kind of what I'm getting. I still think that there's a blood issue though. So is it Parkinson's? No, but I think it's presenting as Parkinson's. But this is my own personal opinion. Everybody that's just jumping in, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you smash that like button. It is good to have you guys here. Oh, Lucy, you have 5 cats? So do I. It's bedlam, isn't it? I was buried under cats yesterday watching Stranger Things. It was fantastic. Okay, I already asked that one. Let's go. And Cindy with her generous contribution to my channel. Thank you so, so much. I really, really appreciate that. So much is being said about Trump's health. Let me swap up decks. Let's take a look at Trump. I'll divert over to another question. I don't care. Trish, you and Zephyr are going to get along just fine with your German Shepherds. I actually saw a German Shepherd puppy, and I was like, oh, maybe German Shepherds are next dog. I don't know if I can deal with the hair. I just don't know. I don't know. Lucy, I have 4 American ferals. They were all ferals. And I have 1 British short hair that I love. Merc, as a dog trainer, nothing trains like a Doberman, Boxer, or German Shepherd. They are all superior trains. Which, by the way, guys, one of my old associates wants me to step back into dog training, and I am actually considering it. He wants me to come work for him. I just don't know. I don't know. I used to do fun stuff. I had a ballet class for teacups, and everyone got a little tutu and a little treat bag, a little matching treat bag when they came to my class. It was basically just coffee clutch, people just hanging out. But my bread and butter was rehabilitating Rottweilers that were trained poorly. That was what I did. I was a Rottweiler rescue gal. All right, so let's see. Trump's health. What is going on? There's so many psychics and readers out there that say Trump's not going to make it through 2026. So Trump's health is recovering. Was there something going on? Yeah. So I'm going to say we've got the King of Cups, 7 of Swords, and the Moon in reverse. I think that if there was a health issue with Trump, if they were leaking some information that he had, something's amiss, like his numbers were bad, I think it was because of his own folly. I think, Trump famously doesn't drink. He doesn't do substances because of an older sibling that had some substance abuse issues. I think his substance of choice is gluttony. I'm just going to say gluttony. I do think that he enjoys a good meal. I think he enjoys a delicious dessert. Everyone knows that he loves McDonald's. He had RFK Jr. eating, or I don't know if he ate it, but he was sitting on the plane on Air Force One with a bag of McDonald's in front of me. Let me raise my seat up a little bit. So, I think that it was his own folly. And I think that they try and keep a very, very close eye on Trump's consumables, because I think he likes rich food. I think that is where he feels that he has kind of really gotten that success. And that's not to say like he doesn't look at his real estate portfolio and go, I'm killing it, man. But I do think that he is a cheater on his diet. Hi, Penny Jonas. Good to have you in here. So I think he's a cheater on his good eating. So there it is. So what's his 2026 going to look like? A little sneak peek. We'll do a little sneak peek before I do my my full-on grading of my predictions from last year, and also absolutely, I saw that, Deb. Absolutely. So you have to train the people. So that's probably what I'll be doing. So what does this 2026 look like health-wise? We're just going to look at health-wise, guys. Haley, I got your question. Health-wise. Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, looking back on the things that he's done. He knows that. So this is what I'm going to tell you. Like, everyone wants Trump to be having like affairs and like, the Watergate Hotel and all those things. I think that Trump goes for car rides and gets McDonald's. That's what I think. He's got people sneaking food into him, a little bag of Popeyes, a little McDonald's, little Mackie D's. I think that's kind of what his gig is. Oh, you know what I'm going to do too, guys? Let me do this. I'm going to turn on the Hipsy app too. Let me go over here. Live stream manager, live stream events. I'm going to turn on the Hipsy app if you guys want to. Select all services. There we go. I'll stay on here all day long. Now, let's go. YouTube. So, mods, we're going to have Hipsy coming in just a second. And like I said, we will go into readings for you guys after this. I got all day. I have nothing to do today. I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. Actually, I might clean a little bit. But there we go. We are live on Hipsy, guys. So I will drop you a link. Paste. There you go, guys. If you're watching over on you're watching over on the Psychic News Report, you can come on over to the Fortune Cookies Tarot live stream. Missions through Hipsy link or supers. There we go. And we'll show that on the bottom. Oh, I want that to scroll. Let it scroll, baby, scroll. Why is it not scrolling? Add banner. Why is this not working for me? Why is it not working for me? There you go. Scroll, baby, scroll. There we go. All right. So if you have personal questions, you can drop them in Hipsy, or you can do them as a super. Ooh, Pantone. Questions about Camilla, just drop them in there. Questions about Trump, drop them in there. So I think Trump, I think he rolls around and like goes and he gets cheeseburgers and things like that. I think he does that. I don't think he is very careful about his food. I think it's an indulgence, whereas some people might take a toke or a smoke or a drink. I think he goes and he gets a cheeseburger. So is he going to correct course? Is he going to correct course in this year? Finally, he's almost 80 years old. Is he finally going to correct course? Yes. Whoops. bring this up. Live comments. He is going to once again start anew. He is going to start anew and try and make himself healthier, do all that stuff. I think he's going to try and do that. Is he, he's a work in progress. He is going to be a work in progress. Not exactly. Oh boy. I've got some crazy things going on here, guys. Sorry. I've got some crazy screenage. There we go. Okay. So Lucy, I got your question. So I think he's somebody who needs to be babysat as far as his eating habits. That's just what I'm saying. I'm just saying. I don't think it's a bad thing. I've, left to our own devices. I mean, like I said, I made marshmallows yesterday and I was roasting marshmallows on a stick. Welcome everybody in the chat, everyone who's here. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate everyone showing up for Sunday. Lucy is new to the chat. So Lucy, I am going to do something fun for you. So this is, and I believe you said you're Scottish. This is the Raise Your Vibration deck. It's by Kyle Gray, a fellow Scotsman. So I speak a little Scottish because my ex is Scottish. My son's name is Oh no, I went Irish. I jumped over to the other island. My wee baron, Angus. He's got some set of tires on him. I went Irish again, didn't I? Becky, I need your help. Becky. So, yes, you're from Glasgow. My sister-in-law is Glaswegian. And one of my favorite people on the whole planet. She is absolutely hilarious. So, all right. Loose. Oh, guys, we just had a little power shimmy. Our power just flickered. So, are we still online? Yes, we're still online. Okay. All right. So Kyle Gray, Raise Your Vibration. My light attracts light. This, I think, is a really important message for anyone to hear, because when we are darkness, when we are venom and vitriol, that comes back to us. That is what is brought to us. So if you start hanging around with Shady McShadester, you're going to bring more Shady McShadesters. Birds of a feather flock together, and that counts with energy as well. So when we wake up in the morning and we decide to have a shite day, rest assured you're going to have a shite day. When you wake up and you say, I'm going to do my best to help others, when I'm going to do my best to bring some energy into the world that's good, when you do reciprocal energy. And I did that today, or yesterday, actually. Trevor Colt is a good friend of my family, and he is kickstarting his second channel, Uncensored Hypocrisy. And I decided yesterday I'm going to promote that channel. He has promoted my channel plenty to great success. And, Trevor has a mixed bag of support. He's a great guy. He's always been a good dude to me. And he's never done anything mean or rotten to me. He has always been a tremendous support and a shiny ray of light, even though he curses a lot. It's okay. I think we all need, thank you, Zephyr, for dropping that. Thank you so much. I'm going to do another post for him. But my thing was, I am going to shine a light on Uncensored Hypocrisy. I want people to go over there, and if it's not their bag, it's not their bag. They don't have to stay there. But you know, I am going to keep brightening up that room. Somebody wants to keep shutting the lights out. I'm going to keep lighting it up. I'm going to light another candle. I'm going to light another candle. It's going to be like Hanukkah over here. Anna Milla's going to have Hanukkah part 2 at the end of the year. Oh my God, we're going to have Hanukkah again. So, you know, my light attracts light. One single good act that you do in a day could send out ripples and create more good. You know, if you hold the door for someone at the shops, then they're probably going to hold the door for somebody else. They're going to use that example. Lead by example, lead energetically by example. Every morning when I wake up, I stay in bed for a few minutes before I stumble out and take Raven out and get my coffee and feed the cats and all those things. And I just bathe myself in white light, and then I let that white light spread over my house, my neighbors' houses. I send it out. The cats all have an upper respiratory infection right now, so I've been sending out a lot of healing energy to them. Yeah, the upper respiratory infections, they're viral. They just pass. I've never had all of my cats get sick at once. I've had one cat get sick at a time, but unusual thing. They're fine. You know, they're all sneezing and they have a little bit of snot, but you know, they're fine. Everyone's recovering. We're at the tail end of it. So first time for anything. But they're fine, Cindy. They're absolutely fine. Trevor is still jumping up on the counters and trying to eat everything in sight. He's like that crazy ginger cat. Oh, which, by the way, those of you that are new, I named my cat after Trevor because he's ginger. His name's Trevor Cat MC, mouse catcher. But so Lucy, I know I'm going kind of all over this. Yeah, you don't know what kind of somebody kill not kill Michael Curtis. Michael Curtis, you're a piece of work. So I hope you're tenderizing it. So good for you, Michael. Sunday morning somewhere. So yeah, Michael's being a little fresh in the chat on the vertical. I don't know which vertical he's on either. So yeah, let's all send Michael some healing energy. Hope he gets to the finish line a little bit faster. So if you send out just like a little bit of goodness to people, it does come back. It does come back. So yes, Karen, I'm talking about Trevor's other channel. So but we're giving Lucy a reading. So Lucy, what can you do? 6 of Cups. Don't worry about what's happened in the past. Live today in this moment today, Lucy. Live it today in this moment. Queen of Swords. Anything that interferes with your good spirit today, I want you to cut it off. It doesn't mean that you have to slam a door in someone's face. It just means you're going to take a break from them for a little while. You're just going to keep to yourself and take a break for a little bit. Okay. And over here, strength in reverse. You don't have to have patience with bad behavior. You don't have to have patience with people that are negative. That 6 of Cups in reverse is a very negative card. So brightening your own light, brightening your own intention for the day. What that will do is it will sometimes attract some negative people because their goal is to kind of dim the light for everyone. And what you have to do is just turn away from them, you know, like Carol Ann. Oh, good Lord. Hang on one guy. I got to get rid of this guy. Sorry, kids. Oh, Michael, you are a right mess. So, here we go. Oh, you got him. Thank you, Zeph. Thanks. Perfect. Perfect. Wonderful. The trolls are out in full form today. So, all right. So, don't have any patience with anyone that is going to interfere with your day. No patience for them. So, your light attracts light. I'm going to put that up for myself today. He got zephyrized. Yeah, no bad behavior here. Oh, Lucy, this is exactly what I was trying to say with all the segues in there, with all the sidebars. I do a lot of sidebars. I see your question over there is Merc, hang on, Merc. I got a few questions ahead of you. So just sit tight, my friend. So Lucy, welcome to the channel, or to the chat. You've been here for a while. Misty Moo, I am going to do the same for you. You're getting a Kyle Gray, Grey. Love that Kyle Gray. You're going to get a card too. Lucy, the idiots have been let loose from their secure hospitals. I live in New Jersey amongst them, so I'm well prepared. I know how to deal with it. There's no politeness here sometimes. So sometimes they turn into Anna Miller. Living with purpose brings prosperity. Now, this is something that is important as well. So, Merc, we'll talk about that in just a second. Yeah. We'll talk about that in just a second. I see your question. And I'm getting to you, Merc. I'm getting to you over here. So, living with purpose brings me prosperity. A lot of people think that they can just tra-la-la through their day and, people will flock to them for their wisdom. We can't all be as charismatic as Jim Jones or David Koresh. So when we set a goal and we design our day to get to that goal, it will bring fruitfulness. It will bring prosperity. It will bring it to you. But you have to clearly define your goal. So Misty Moo, Tower in reverse, King of Cups, and Two of Swords. These are awesome cards to go along with this, to complement this. So the Tower in reverse, and I love this one. It's a giant aspect tower. How awesome is that? When we get the Tower in reverse, it is something life-changing, course-changing that we do ourselves. We have made that happen. And much joy comes from that. And in this moment, I'm getting that there's a lot of selfishness here. And I know that Lucy, we talked a little bit about Lucy kind of cutting loose from people that are sending her some bad mojo, making things more complicated than they need to be. This has kind of the same selfish energy. This is please yourself first. When we are happy and centered in ourselves, what happens is that brings, like the light attracts light, brings more of the good people to us. Two of Swords, it takes you on a different trajectory. It takes you on a different path. We always have choices about what path we are going to be on. And that pathway, we have to be very purposeful in choosing what we are doing. Oh, Misty Boo, you're brushing up on your Swedish. That is a tough language. I learned how to speak Russian when I was in college. My grandfather is from Russia, and he didn't have anybody to talk with, and he expressed that he was regretful that he didn't teach anyone Russian. And over the pandemic, I naively thought that I could get my whole family Rosetta Stone and we could all learn Japanese and surprise my mother-in-law, and we all failed miserably. Japanese is really hard. Swedish is very hard too. We have the Rosetta Stone for all four of us. We have the lifetime plan, and you have all of the languages. And I dipped into a few others, like, I learned Russian. Yeah, gavaru po-ruski. So I said, well, why not? We'll give it a shot. Swedish is not an easy language. It definitely is a little bit different. One thing I can advise you is get kids books or watch kids programming on YouTube. And it will help you kind of learn that. Like when you learn like a baby, it sometimes helps. I had a lot of Russian children's books when I was learning, and I have no idea what happened to them. I had a set of Turgenev's. I had a collection of leather-bound Turgenev books that I lost. That they got shipped over to California and they got lost in the mail. I don't have like 3 of them now. So okay, let's get back to Queen Camilla. here. So we have Is this why Peroshki? Now I want Peroshki. Blinis are effing delicious. There's also buttermilk. They'll put a jam in buttermilk, and I thought that was like the most disgusting thing I've ever heard of. I don't think it's actually buttermilk they have in Russia. I think it's something a little bit different, but it's got kind of like a yogurty thing. Barney, Happy New Year, Barney. One of my favorite mods here, Barney, be on the lookout because the trolls are out in full force. So, throwing a little bit of raspberry jam inside inside a little bit of buttermilk is effing delicious. Delicious. So, I think we're going to go to the Russian tea house with Dave Murphy when he comes over in February. Barney, if you want to come up and go out to eat in the city, we'll coordinate that with Dave Murphy. He's coming all the way from Australia. So, all right. What did they buy the house across the street for Camilla? 7 of Swords. That's an interesting card. That is an interesting card. Why is it 7 of Swords? 6 of Pentacles. All right, guys, people are going to have a problem with this. I'm letting you know right now. Oh, yeah, Russian tea room. That's what I meant. Yes, I've only had 1 cup of coffee today. Merc, there's also a Korean spa where you have to be totally naked. And I asked Greg, I was like, do you want to go with Dave Murphy? I don't know if any of us are naked ready just yet. So, oh, I have an alien here, guys. I just realized there's an alien. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Let me put him someplace. He is not supposed to be here. We'll put him on the shelf. There you go. I got a little alien on the shelf behind me now. So yeah, there is a lot of Russian things to do here. There's actually a really great Russian restaurant that closed down. They did like the traditional Russian lunches, which are like 4.5 hours long. Fantastic. So I think that they bought this house across the street in order to give her another place to go. I think the minute the king passes, she's going to automatically flip over to that. I think that's the plan there. But I think people are going to have a problem with this. I think people are going to be like, why is she getting this? Why is she getting a grace and favor house? So I do think there's going to be some discussion about that. Let's do this. Provides her more privacy. Her home was part of the divorce settlement, or bought once her divorce. Is that why they did it? For more privacy. 8 of Pentacles, the Sun. So how this particular residence is going to be set up, she's not going to have to pay for any maintenance or anything on it. That's why they're doing this. And so she can kind of retire from all business like that. All right. So osteoporosis. Let's look at that. Osteoporosis. Bonnie, Anna Milla has been here all day. I don't even know what to do. So, yeah, I do think that there's some deterioration. But all of us postmenopausal women experience that, like your bones get weak. They tell you, oh, we got to do bone density check, blah, blah, blah. I haven't had mine done yet. Should have had it done like 5 years ago, but shame on me for that. So, all right, kids. I do think, yeah, the osteoporosis is not reversible. I think it is heading in a direction of discomfort. Will Camilla stay close to the royal family once the king passes? Let's see about that. I think she will stay cordial. What role will they carve out for her? Justice in reverse, Knight of Pentacles. Um, I do think that William is going to set it up so that she is well cared for. And I don't think he's going to be a jerk about it. I think he understands the chatter of, well, why should we care for her? She wasn't, part of the royal family. I think he understands that. And I think he looks at it with the lens of, this could be my wife. If I outlive, or if my wife outlives me, this could be my wife. And I want the precedent there. I want her to be well cared for. I want Camilla to be well cared for. Just for fun, let's see. What is William's perspective of Camilla? What he would like to see is her not kind of gabbing about. And I think, and if you guys did watch my predictions for her, I think that possibly she will tell the love story of her and King Charles, because as of now, he's like still branded a little bit of a cheater, like people still say, oh, he broke Diana's heart. She was so young. She was so innocent. And I think that she may want to correct that narrative. And I think that William does not want her to correct that narrative, not because of his mother, but because it just sets a precedent. It sets a precedent of, kiss and tell after the king dies. And I think he would just like, once her tenure as queen is done, that she just kind of roll off into retirement. I think he really would like to see that happen. But still cared for, I think she will depart a bit. We'll see her every now and again, but I don't think that she's going to have I did, Karen. I did. I think so I think she'll kind of fade into the distance, Camilla. So Karen, I did, and just to give you the Cliff Notes, you can go back and watch it. But I think he likes to cheat on his prescribed diet. I think the luxury, even though everything's gold plated, I think the luxury for Trump is like going and getting a Big Mac. Who doesn't love a Big Mac? I love a Big Mac. I know they're terrible, but I do love them. So I think that is kind of he eats poorly. I think he eats poorly when not being watched. I do think that. So, all right. We're going to jump over to Mercury and Leo's question. It is a personal question, guys. So if you want personal questions, I have a bunch of options open on Hipsy, or you can do it in a super chat. More than happy to do that. But I'm making up for lost time here. This is my full-time gig. So help a girl out. 2 different places for the ducks to go. Those of you that don't know Mercury and Leo, she has a bunch of ducks and she is moving out of her place. There's a sanctuary. There is this sanctuary. I was talking to a woman before Christmas. I called Monday, Tuesday passed, nothing. And this guy around here wants them. They need to go somewhere. So can I start moving? Will the sanctuary get back to me about the ducks? I am getting intuitively that someone is sick around the sanctuary woman. Let's take a look at her first. I'm going to bring up the regular live chat for a second. Let me drop that question. Hang on, kids. All right. So all right, hang on. All right, so sanctuary woman. Yeah, 9 of Cups. Somebody's sick. Everybody's got the flu right now. 7 of Swords. Yeah, somebody's sick right now. 3 of Swords, getting better, healing up. Ace of Swords. I think as we get closer to the new year, she'll be able to kind of take charge of that. Ultimately, 3 of Wands. I think it's going to take her a little bit of time to kind of put that together. Hold out for her. Yeah, there's something a little flaky about her too, just so you know. I don't know if she just has like a lot on her plate. Do list of pros and cons for both of them, and give her a deadline. I tell my kids this all the time, my son specifically. Like, whenever you need an answer from someone, example, his letters of recommendation. He was like, well, nobody got back to me yet. I didn't get any letters of recommendation. And I told him, I said, dude, like, give them a deadline. Like, the teachers know that there's a deadline for college apps. Tell them, I need to hear from you by 12 noon on September 30th or whatever date, pick a date. So I would do that. I would drop a hard deadline for her and say, hey, I really need to get this done. Whatever, I'd really like an answer by such and such a date. How will this lady respond to that? Empress in reverse, Four of Wands. I think she'll and Four of Swords. I think she'll let you know that she's just kind of had her hands full. We got fours here, so it starts to take form. She's just had her hands full. I don't know if she's got kids or she's got an adult that is sick. Something's not right. Something's happening here. What about this dude? Let's see, this dude. Five of Swords. This guy's got a lot on his plate. Four of Cups. He means well. I would explore his option a little bit more. If you have not gone to see the facility, the backyard, and where the ducks will be, go see it and kind of scrutinize it and make sure that that's a good fit for you. It may well be with a little bit of zhuzhing here. We may be able. Okay, you didn't want to for him. Okay. This could be a good fit if the woman falls through. So I would go talk to the sanctuary again. That lady, I just think everybody's sick right now. I think everybody got sick for the holidays. So thank you so much, Merc, for your question. The screen is clear over on Hipsy. And we are going to pull this up. What does Queen Camilla really think of Princess Catherine? What does Queen Camilla? Woo! Cards flying everywhere. What does she really think? Cards are flying out, guys. Queen Camilla, think of the Princess of Wales. How does she really look at her? Oh my. Why is that? King of Cups in reverse. Not really loving it. 10 of Pentacles. The Tower in reverse. And the Sun. I think that Queen Camilla does not like the absence of fight in public from Catherine. I think she is of the opinion that Catherine needs to show a bit more of her strong side, which I'm curious if we're going to see that when she becomes Queen Catherine or Queen Consort Catherine. Which is funny because Camilla doesn't do that. I think because of the foundations of her relationship with Prince Charles, now King Charles. So I think that Camilla was not afforded the luxury of being kind of a ball-busting biatch. And I think she wants Catherine to kind of step into that moment of strength, being like a warrior queen almost. We did see it on the walkabout after Queen Elizabeth passed away. It's very subtle, but it's when Meghan kind of scuttles backward, you see Catherine kind of step forward. And it's actually a dog training thing. Again, like dog training is on my mind because I was pitched a position. I was requested to possibly move into a training position again. when we work with aggressive or dominant dogs, one of the things that we do is we will step with our shoulders forward. You kind of slightly bend at the hips and you kind of step forward, 1 foot forward, and you roll up on your toes and you broaden those shoulders. You make yourself actually look bigger. If it's an aggressive dog, you can wear a jacket and kind of open your jacket, and it creates this illusion of you getting bigger and more dominant, and the dogs get a little bit confused. It takes a beat for them to figure out what's going on there. And I did see Catherine do that in that moment. She kind of rolled up on those toes. I think her biatchness, Catherine's, is much more subtle and long game than Camilla's is. I think Camilla, if someone offends her, she will say, well, I'm quite abobbed in this moment. Abobbed, medieval word for insulted. IBOBBED. Abobbed. I think bemothered is troubled. I just discovered this channel where the guy is talking about medieval words. Bemothered is I'm not sure about it. Yeah, abobbed is definitely insulted because I used it with Greg yesterday. I'm so abobbed. But I do think that Camilla is more willing to insult someone to their face or put them in their place, whereas Catherine, I think, is very delicate and very sweet and is very Christian in the sense that she turns the other cheek. Is it the Megan situation that she wants her to step up into? Yeah. Camilla does think that fighting the situation with Meghan Markle has to be done on the playing field. I'm going to mute myself for a second because I got the world's loudest librarian on my phone. She hung up. Why did she hang up? She hung up on me. Why did she hang up on me? well, so be it. We'll see if Kathy calls back in a minute. So, all right. So I think she thinks Catherine doesn't need a backbone, but needs a better sword. I think that's what she wants for Catherine. And I think what was the reason behind it? 7 of Cups, because the slings and arrows of, sometimes you got to be an absolute dick. Sometimes you got to be a dick. Rather than, just be this sweetness and light all day long. Sometimes, you have to be that shady McShadester, that 7 of Swords. My girlfriend Alicia Wicker calls her sneaky snacker. I even have like a video of the sneaky snacker. Let me pop that in for you guys so you can enjoy it. There he is. That's a little sneaky snacker. I don't see Catherine sinking to that level either, Zephyr. They are just very, very different people. What does Catherine think of that? Queen of Cups, she just wants to be sweetness and light. Catherine is my light attracts light. Catherine is that. She is that. And I think it shows. I think it shows on her skin. It shows in her face. Who else navigates cancer treatments for 18 months and still looks fabulous? Sans a wig. So more people coming into the chat. Welcome, guys. We are going to bust it open for personal questions shortly. Let me see. This is an interesting question. Have I felt like someone has been sending me bad energy? Yes. Yes, someone has been sending me some bad mojo. And it's a shame because I don't wish anybody poorly. I don't I don't wish anybody poorly. So what should I do in that moment? What should I do in that moment? Tower in reverse. Turn and walk away. So, Tower in reverse is something that I do that is radical and changing to divert path from the naysayers, the people who hate me. And I can say what I can say, and I can keep doing what I'm doing. That's what I'm gonna do. It's not gonna make me change my career. That's for sure. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame. You know, yeah. You know, I just, you know, some people think little girls should be seen and not heard. But I say, oh, bondage of yours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are my X-Ray Specs fans? I know Barney knows that song. Oh, no, Barney, you're a little young. I don't think you know that song. Polystyrene, one of the great punk rock legends of all time, sadly lost her to, I believe it was breast cancer. Polystyrene. What a great name. Punk rock sweetheart. So I'm singing punk rock songs on a Sunday morning. Shame on me. But so yeah, just keep on keeping on. I'm just gonna keep doing my content. You know, it is what it is. So transmute. I don't wish poorly on it. Well, there's one person I wish poorly on. No, it is not Denise Burnside. I'm kidding, Denise, if you're still here. So no, there's one person who I think is an absolute terrible person. I won't divulge who that is. It's not anybody on YouTube. Somebody in mine and Greg's personal life. And not a nice person. So we have taken our leave of that person. It's always going to be, you know, there's always going to be a Rumpelstiltskin in your life. There's always going to be somebody who's terrible. And you know, you just gotta walk away. You just gotta walk away. So take leave of terrible people. Take leave. So will Camilla be buried next to King Charles when it is her time? Ace of Wands. I don't think so. Now I'm gonna go out on a limb here, guys. And I know that there's protocol for where the king is buried. But I think we may have a slightly different protocol that takes place with King Charles. And I think it will be and this may be a conversation that's taking place now. Remember what I said about the threes earlier? Threes and aces, they're all in the ethereal. So we're throwing out ideas here. What about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? We'll talk about it. We don't know if we can do that. I think that there are discussions in the moment to do something a little bit different with King Charles, so that he can have a resting spot with his wife. I don't know if this is going to go through, though. I don't know if it will. Will they? That's a good sign. No. Even if the demand is made, I think they wind up doing something different. The whole business about lowering him into that crypt, you know, we all saw that. I don't think it's going to be accepted by the wheels of the palace. Is it going to be William that puts the kibosh on this? William's going to be held to it, and I think it's the men in gray suits, the courtiers. A little bit of soft power there. Yeah, they're just not. I think. Well, he must be buried in St. George's Chapel, I believe, Cindy. But I think he's trying to do something different so that they can be buried together. I just don't think it's going to happen. I have a feeling they're not going to be buried together. Perhaps he wanted something. You know, like, what if he wanted to be buried at Highgrove? Like, Bury me at high growth. That's where I want to be. I want to be buried in the garden with Pink Floyd playing. Did you know that he played Pink Floyd for his plants? Very, very interesting. So I think that there's discussions about where they are going to go, and I think there's not a lot of consensus on that. Sally, thank you so much, my dear. I really appreciate that. That is fantastic of you. Guys, this is my full-time job. The YouTube money that I get it's negligible. I'll be honest. It's, ad revenue. It's not that much. Those of you that think we're getting rich on YouTube, rich enough to buy subs and watch hours and all that stuff. No, none of us are doing that. There's a lot of overhead that I have here. So your contributions certainly help. I've got a teenage driver that is outrageously expensive. So, any little bit helps. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. We built such a really, really nice community, and people like Sally, Sally's one of my founding members. She was here when it all began. So, Sally, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let me throw a few cards for you. We're going to honor Sally in this moment, guys. And I'm going to throw out like call to action. So today, what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to throw out a compliment to one of your friends. So, Penny, I see your question. Throw out a compliment, text message compliment to one of your friends, and just say, you know what? I just want you to know, you are so gorgeous, or you look so terrific at such and such. You are an amazing person. Your mashed potatoes were the best I ever had. Well, whatever it is. So, Sally, this one's for you. Your mind is an altar to source energy. So, source energy for Kyle Gray is the connection to God. And a lot of people they're like, oh, well, you don't believe in God because you're a tarot reader. You're witchy and all of that. And no, I very much believe in God. I have a very strong faith. I was raised in a Christian and Jewish household. I know, very complicated. We have a lot of different religions in our house, and I do believe that connection to God is very important. We cannot just be here spinning around like idiots. I do think that there is a greater source of energy, and I do honor that. And I am grateful for the blessings that are given to me. The more grateful you are, the more you get at the end of the day. But your mind is the key to congress with God. When we pray, when we meditate, when we ruminate, when we walk around in our garden, that is the moments where we are connecting with God. For me, I do walking meditation a lot better than other things. I do my best meditating when I'm washing dishes. I do my best meditating when I'm scrubbing the bathroom. Sounds stupid. Sounds like it's not the most honorable thing to do, but it does infuse my day with that connection to God. So, yeah, absolutely, Merc. Absolutely. So, Sally, connect with your God today. When things get heavy, you can unsnarl the knots in your world, the energetic knots or the thought knots. You can, those of us that do pray, everybody who prays or meditates has this moment at some point when you are in the thick of it, and all of a sudden you just get this peace that kind of comes over you. That is you having congress with God, and God says, I'll give you a moment. I'll chill you out here. I'll just let you chill for just a minute. And that is sustainable conditions. That is something that we can engineer. And some people like to engineer drama. We all have the friends that are drama freaks. Like everything is a big drama. Oh my God, I got my nails done and the girl she filed them square. I wanted them rounded. I wanted almond. She gave me square. I can't believe it. Well, you can bitch about that all day long. You can complain about the people around you that you think are affecting you. You can complain about the conditions that you think are affecting you. But in the meantime, you can always sit down, connect with God, and have God, take that burden away from you. You can do that. You can say, I surrender to your goodwill. I surrender to your benevolence. I believe that God is benevolent. I don't think it's the crazy doom and gloom, God of retribution. I don't. I think that bad things happen, but I do think that we have a benevolent leader. I think they allow us to make mistakes. I think that the gods and the powers that be allow us to make mistakes so that we can learn from them, so that we are a richer person. We can't all be Eloy. Like, nobody wants to be an Eloy. That's from the Time Machine, the Eloy and the Morlocks. I want to watch that today. But we really should practice more in the energetic wavelength, the energetic airstreams, whatever you want to call it, not the trailers. If we jump into that, we kind of grease the wheels for peace in our own world. So finding that peace, and this may be a doorbell for you, Sally. Like, God may be saying, hey, can you come on over? I haven't seen you in a while. You were busy over the holidays. Come see me. I think maybe, a little bit of, a little bit of dedication, and I understand you do speak with God every day. I just saw that. Sometimes we have to bridge that gap. You can see my little Seven of Swords guy has a foot in each world, has a foot in the spiritual, and has a foot in the terrestrial world. And this is something that I talk about when I talked about my kids when they were little. I did not practice a lot of psychic ability. I was very terrestrial. I was very focused on feeding, diapering, sleeping, going for walks, going to the play park, having a good time, taking them to the beach. Like, I was really focused on the practicality of life. And I regret not being more psychic with them when they were little, because I think I could have managed those sleepless nights or colicky nights a little bit better. But I just got very focused on being practical. I felt like as a mom, I needed to have both feet on the ground. So, guys, my left ear is ringing. Somebody's talking smack. I always say that if my left ear is ringing, oh no, if left ear is good because it's close to the heart. Right ear, somebody's talking smack. Somebody's talking smack right now. Bring it to the chat. Bring it to the chat. I'll bring you up I'll drop a link and bring you up. You got something to say? Say it to me face. So Sally, I hope that you have a fantastic new year. Keep those connections with spirit, with the universe, with God, with gods, whatever your practice is. Keep the connection in your everyday life. Everyday spirituality is not goofy. And that's one of the things that I want people to see in my life. I stub my toe, I curse. I miss a deadline, I'm angry about it. But bring spirituality into that. Don't just be really, really terrestrial all the time. Bringing a little bit more into your world with spirit. We can infuse our spirit into our world all day long. I do intentional cooking all the time. I know I set up a playlist for more intentional cooking, and I just don't have a good video set up. Like I'm set up down here to like cook all day long, to read cards all day long. But I'm just not set up in the kitchen, and our kitchen is not big. We have a very tiny kitchen. So it's a little tricky. One of the things we need to declutter a little bit more in our world. So, but Sally, I very much appreciate your contribution. Merc, let's talk about your spirit guides. So your spirit guides, what do my spirit guides think is best for me living with someone now or live by myself? Since I'm not going to be in the next place for long. So shared existence is a good idea. Why? because you're going to get some cool ideas about where you don't want to live. So it may be a little bit challenging. And it's going to show you your limitations of how well you can direct your life now, and it will inspire you to take better direction over your life, better direction over, where you're going to be and where you're going to wind up. So I think that is a good thing. So this living with someone else is going to empower you and show you the way to the next little house. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Will you find something? Yes. And it is collective living. It may be with more than one person. So check it out. Check it out. Good question for this. Will Catherine be buried with William? Let's see. Her burial is going to be very different from Camilla's. Mainly because Camilla is a second wife. I know that stinks. Oh, okay. Thanks, Chicon. 3559. Far from faith. Okay. Appreciate you. Have a good day. All right. Fine, Chicon. Chicon. Oh, guys, the Hipsy link is well, Chicon. So Chicon's taking a lot of issue with me right now. Chicon. Your name is fun to say. That is the whole point of my channel, is that people do have power over what is happening in their world. And you're a little contradictory here, because you're saying that we're far from God and that cards don't possess power, yet you want a reading. I'll happily decline that. So if you'd like a reading, you can book one. How about that? This is for people who believe and are fun and are enjoying ourselves, like Texas Sweet Life. Texas Sweet Life finally made it live. Texas Sweet Life, stick around, because I will drop some cards for you. There's a lot more people over on the regular stream, the portrait stream. So maybe we'll see you over there. So put that back up. Can Catherine be buried with William after she becomes queen? 7 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Wands. I'm going to say yesity, yes, yes, yes. And this is why, because I think the 7 of Pentacles is they realized that there was a mistake that they made. Okay, Chicon, we won't remove you. So I typically don't block people. So just sit tight. Sit tight. Sit tight. We're going to go back to this question. So I think that they will realize the folly of the complications of Camilla. Is it a discussion when we're trying to figure out where someone is going to? Stacy Conroy, Jersey Shore, what exit? Good to see you here. Stick around, sweetie. Stick around, sweetie. I think I know your name. I know your name. So I think that the Camilla situation is going to pose a unique situation that's going to be handled a little bit clumsily. And I think that they're going to say, when it comes to Catherine, we just have to, do what we're doing and kind of carry on in that direction. So, yes, I do think that she will be buried as a queen should be. So I think they will be buried together. I am going to say that. Here we go. Debs from Scotland. You are fantastic, my sweetie pie. So I love the Scottish gals. My voice always drops a little bit when I do me Scottish. Deb, you have a lot of patience with my channel because I'm all a blather. All a blather. So my son actually used to recite this one of the Robbie Burns poems. His dad taught it to him when he was little, in a full Scottish accent, full Peterhead, blue tuner accent. It was hilarious, so cute. I don't think he can do it anymore, but I am supported on my path. And Debs, for Pete's sake, you certainly are. Debs is a lovely, lovely person. And I am very honored that she's over here hanging around on my channel, goofing off, supporting me. I think she's a wonderful, wonderful person. What do you, Knight of Swords? Speak your truth, mama. Two of Cups and Knight of Wands. You know, you can turn a phrase, you can drop a phrase and stop folks in their track. You know, with the Two of Cups, I want you to turn more toward the things that benefit you. The things that upset you, I want you to turn your back on them. Turn away from the light, Caroline. So hang on, Sophie. Oh, questions are going fast, guys. Oh, Karen, go feed your husband. I don't even know if mine's up. I told everybody I'm working this morning. I'm coming downstairs. My son is heading out in his car shortly. I don't know where he is going. I don't know where he's going. He has a job interview, actually. So, and I think he's going to visit his grandparents and one of his friends. So in his new car, tooling around town. So Debs, I want you to really turn away intellectually from the nasties out there. Turn away from it. And there's no need to invest any energy into it. So, you know, the swords are very decisive and logical, and the wands are far more passionate and inspired. So don't be inspired by the terrible things. Be inspired by the good people in your world. Be inspired by those that give of themselves. So we're going to stick this one over here. But Debs, I love you. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for being here. You are an amazing contributor to this channel. You are just a sweet pea. And then we got Penny D, who is actually a friend. Penny D, not to be confused with Sunny D. She is far sweeter. Becky, stop showing off your Spanish. Adios. Look at you. Another Scottish lassie. She's a spicy Scottish lassie. Our Becky. Becky! She's married to Con Shawnery. It's awesome. Oh, lovely, lovely family over there. So, Penny D. Oh, I am fulfilled by love. I'm going to tell you, like, Penny D is one of my longer subscribed people, member of the channel, awesome person, private client, fulfilled by love. And Penny D, I just want to direct you also to the comments on the Taylor Swift videos. Holy moly. You're not alone. You are not alone, gal. So I am fulfilled by love. What do you have to look forward to? Judgment. Ah, Timmy Turner. How you doing? Don't judge the future by what has happened in the past. You know, if we believe that the past is going to recreate on our watch, then it will. But if we expect our future to be different, if we believe and we feel the feels of it being different, and we do the work, you know, we say, this is the future I want. We get there. We get everything. You get what you put in. You reap what you sow. So if you sow chaos and terrible stuff, you're going to get that. If you think that, not you, Penny, but if somebody has a bad dating history and they go, I'm always going to date really crappy guys, that's going to happen. The crappy guys are going to be attracted. If it's a dude and he keeps getting bamboozled by gold diggers, he's going to keep getting bamboozled by gold diggers. um you know Expect a different future. Think that your future is going to have different results. And you'll be very surprised what comes up. Let me grab a drink of this. So don't worry, I've got a backup. I stole Greg's insulated cup. He loves this cup, but I had to use it the other day because Trevor Cat likes to dip into my beverages. So Penny D, thank you so much. You are fantastic, a good friend, and an endless source of great reading suggestions. So thank you. Texas Sweet Life. Woohoo! Texas Sweet Life. I love Texas. Texas is one of my favorite places on the planet. Almost moved to Fort Worth with my ex-husband. I think the people of Texas are incredibly warm. My mother thinks that everybody in Texas is blonde. She's like, everyone's blonde and they all have pew-pews. We're a 2A family. So, Texas, Sweet Life, my high vibes, heal the world. And that seems to be a theme. My light attracts light. Living with purpose brings prosperity. Your mind is an altar to source energy. I am supported on my path. Kyle, oh, you're blonde. Timmy Turner, stick around. I'll talk to you. Don't worry. So our theme is really, reap what you sow. You put it out there and things get good. King of Pentacles, the Star, and the Chariot. So, your high vibes heal the world. However, we can't always drag people to the finish line. I think that this is an important thing. Hello, Edward. Happy Christmas to you. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy everything, Edward Elliott. Good to see you in the chat. I haven't been doing lives. I actually lost a friend, and one of my friends passed away. One of my very best friends passed away, so I haven't been doing lives. But I'm back. I'm back with a vengeance. So we are dropping stuff for you guys. I'm going to drop you some cards, Edward, so stick around. So we can't always drag people over the finish line. This is, I am going to reflect on my girlfriend who passed away. She was on a trajectory that was very, very different from mine. And, she was super glamorous and super beautiful. You can see a picture of us shortly before my first wedding. I did put that up. It was a really fun night out that we had. And, sometimes you can't help people get to the finish line. But what you can do instead of getting pulled down by that, you can continue to be the generator of good spirit and good energy. And you can just kind of expand and grow. You're going to touch someone with that energy. Even when people are going through some tough stuff, when they're not making the right choices, when they're not doing all the right things, your love and your energy and your aura may touch someone that is getting into a good flow. So, your high vibes, they heal the world, but sometimes we can't heal everybody. Sometimes we can't take everybody along with us. Violetta, I hope you are enjoying the ice storm that we had here in New Jersey. I don't know if you got snow. We got a dusting of snow and then ice on top of it. Was unpleasant to say the least, but it's good to see you. I hope you're having happy holidays. Texas Sweet Life, really. Really. I am going to be doing some grief counseling because we're not doing a service for my girlfriend. So, I'm kind of navigating this. I'm kind of like dropped out in the middle of the ocean, or I'm like Kaleidoscope, the Ray Bradbury story with all the astronauts that are blown out of the rocket. But I do appreciate you being here, Texas Sweet Life. I'm glad that you're here. I'm going to be doing a lot more lives coming up in the new year. So we will. Chikan, you are next. Hang out there. Hang out there. So what I've been manifesting, will it come in? I've been manifesting every day. Remember, Dr. Joe Dispenza. You got to feel it to manifest it. You got to feel the feels. You got to feel the excitement and the joy. You've got to feel it. So, Nicole, I see your question. Hang out there. Hang out there. Oh, you got to go. Edward, stay 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 of Pentacles. Try a little different manifestation. Dr. Joe Dispenza, changing your future. Try that. Queen of Wands there. You're not manifesting correctly. You got to feel it. You got to feel it. Edward, stick around. Stick around. Let me give you, I want to give you a vibe card. Vibe card. This is for Edward Elliott. Edward Elliott. I am a light in the world. Go out there. I know you got to go. Go be a light in the world, dude. Go light it up. Go light it up. Light it up. Always appreciate seeing you here. And I do want to highlight my friend Rick Paul. Hi, Rick Paul. Rick Paul is a psychic medium in the United Kingdom, and he is one hell of a guy. He is from guard to guide. He was a screw in the British prison system. I'm sorry if I'm outing you all the way, dude. But he is now a spiritual guide and a medium. His origin story as a psychic is very similar to mine. We both had our grandfathers come to us after they passed away. Wild stuff. But he is a dear, dear friend. Go over there, give him a sub. He does a lot of in-person events in the United Kingdom. And he's a gifted psychic. He is also a member of the Psychic News Report, which is on hiatus. So, Rick Paul, sit tight. We may bring that bitch back. So, Rick Paul, throwing you a card because he is my friend. I can do whatever I want. Take the weight of the world off your shoulders. There is not a better card in this deck for you. Take that backpack off, man. Take it off. Take it off. I'm not reshuffling this deck. So if we get through the whole deck, I'll open up another deck. But Rick Paul, appreciate you. If anybody can drop a link for Rick Paul's channel in there, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate that. He's also on Facebook as well. Chikan. I'm going to go to the traditional Rider-Waite for you. So, a lot of people, so Chikan kind of took me to task and was like, God is around you. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just, it's one of the crazy voices that I make. So, Timmy Turner. Yeah, he was a prison guard, not a screwdriver. So yeah, Rick Paul, awesome dude. Timmy Turner, you're killing me over here. We're all recovering a-holes at times. So Chikan. So one of the things I don't do, and some people get disappointed about that, I don't really make a lot of predictions, even though I am very good at it. When I am counseling with people, what we're talking about is how they can navigate a circumstance in their life. One of the things that I am really, really good at psychically is I am really, really good at finding the motivations of individuals around you. So I work with a lot of people that work in corporate America. I worked in corporate America for, most of my adult life. And sometimes you go into these board meetings and everyone's smiling and saying, yes, we'll follow what you want to do. Your initiative is great. And then they give the credit to somebody else. It's happened to all of us that work in corporate. You get kind of you get the rug pulled out from under you, whether it's because you are subordinate or you are a woman or you're too young or you don't have a family. And so you don't get a you don't get a raise because I actually I had a situation in one of my jobs where someone said, well, her husband makes a lot of money. We don't have to worry about giving her raises, and that was pretty offensive. That was pretty offensive because it did get back to me. Because oh, Zeph, you know what I'm talking about, soul sucking. So what I'm going to do, Chikan, long intro to this. I am going to tell you how you can maximize your week that's coming up. How about that? So let's give you one card here. One card. We have foundations and new beginnings. So with Ace of Pentacles, that is about adjusting the moral compass, the navigation device, the solid belief systems that you have in your world. And sometimes this is a reaffirming of them. These are the things that make up what we are and make up the way that the world interacts with us. So sometimes we need to reassert our platform. We need to reassert the way that we are addressing the world around us. We need to do that. So I do think kind of rewriting what your needs, wants, and likes are is very important, because trying to compromise one's I'm saying morals, but it's really like the rules and regulation of your life, the 10 commandments of your life, if you will. Trying to adjust those to people around us is making you unhappy. And we can't all think the same. Working toward consensus is not always a fruitful endeavor. And sometimes we need to say, this is my village, this is my tribe. And I'm a big, I love tribalism, because I think that we need to work in a microcosm. We need to work on the things that are around us. I don't want to send money to, Africa for some kid, 70 cents a day. I can support a child in, wherever, whatever African country. I would rather support the hungry kid that lives in the apartment complex around the corner. I would rather drive over there and drop off, wrapped toys for the holiday, something like. I would rather do that than kind of throw it into the mix. It just, I want to make sure that people are receiving that help. We had a Russian gal that worked for our family, and she sent a whole bunch of things home to her family, and she had a huge box, and she like loaded up all these jeans and all this stuff in it. And I said, isn't this like bananas that you're sending this shipping? She goes, trust me, like 2 pairs of jeans will make it there. It's going to be opened up and people are going to take things out of it. So, I understand doing things local. Like, she said, when I go back, I try and, pack my suitcase with as much as I can for my family. And then, I just come home with a backpack. And I was like, oh, well, that's something. Sometimes we really need to focus on the tribe that's with us, the tribe that believes in what we believe in. And that is where our best work is done, because we can expand and add to that system rather than try and convert others. So your best course of action is just to, realign yourself with your belief systems. Dig deep into them. And maybe that this reading is this, like, maybe coming over here and learning about how I read for people. Maybe this is like creating a stronger belief in what you do, and more of a disbelief in what I do and what other spiritual counselors like me. We can't say spiritual counselor here in New Jersey. You can't say counselor. Perhaps wait, hang on. Solarian, good to see you in the chat. So you know, I think this will reaffirm your belief system this week. I think you reorder the things that you rely on. And I think that you get very comfortable doing that, and not so much worried about converting others that don't believe, or getting others to coordinate with your way of thinking. It's kind of a live and let live. But in the end, you find peace in that garden. You find peace in that garden, and peace in your knowing that your belief system is rock solid, which I think is fine. I think that's fine. So I don't know if you like that. I don't know if you didn't like it. I don't know. I'm not here to convert you. I'm just here to give you a little bit of a spoonful of sugar to get through your day. So I welcome you to the channel if you want to come back. Absolutely. Stacy at the Jersey Shore. I hope you're having a great day, Stacy. I hope everything's wonderful. Let me give you a few cards, because we're just giving out gifts all day long. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. How many people do I have? 39 people here. Stacy, cut out the naysayers. Be your own boss. The world. So I want you to close out your week this week. That's what I want you to do. It is Sunday. It is Sunday fun day. Some of us are working. Some of us are cleaning. Some of us are meal prepping. You, my dear, you need to just kind of coast into the next week. So what I would do is shut down any of your obligations, be your own boss, and wrap out the year. Basically what I want you to do is say goodbye to the old year and welcome in the new year. So and that being said, those of you who are interested, I do have a numerology and tarot reading for your next year available on Hipsy. You can go over there and order one. It's a recorded reading, but you can go over there and order one at the Hipsy link. Let me see if I can drop that link again. There is that link. Recorded readings. I'll have hours after today. It's pretty cool. And I will let you know there is a cash back feature until December 31st. So anybody that has gotten readings from me on Hipsy, you may have some cash back in your account on there. So go check it out. I don't know when you have to spend that by, but go check out your account. You may have some money to spend. You get a reading, spend some time with me. Oh, it's Rob Fuzesi, my good friend. If somebody can drop Rob's link, Rob, you can drop your own link. That'll be fine. Rob's got an amazing channel. He takes you through vintage and current Disney stuff. It's amazing. It's so much fun. I love his channel. Rob has known me since before I wore a bra. That's how long he's known me. So we were weans going to middle school together. But Rob is a super deluxe dude. I love him. He is funny, and a super good person. So super good person. So one of my favorites. And Chikan, thank you for donating $2. Sophie, I hope you're still here, my girl. I hope you are still here. So, Sophie, are you going to be able to purchase a house soon? And Nicole, I've got you on the other screen. Hang on just 1 second. You are next, my dear. I am not missing you. Will you be able to buy a house? Will you ever be able to purchase a house? Yes, but you have to be smart about this, my dear. So, the way that you are going now, and even though we have the logical swords here, the way that you're going now is not the direction you should go in. Find yourself a good financial dude, financial dudette, or like a mortgage counselor or something like that. I want you to find our mortgage guy does these seminars. It's homeowners purchasing seminar. And what he has is he has all of your financial people, a financial counselor, real estate agents, You know, and they're all like kind of part of the same machinery. And then he's got people to do home improvements, all kinds of cool stuff. And if you can find someone that does like a home buying seminar, like a one-stop shopping kind of thing, you're gonna have better results. And the reason why is that there's some missing pieces here. So one of the things that we had was like a credit guy that was, and he was terrific. He didn't help us with our credit in the purchase of this house because our credit was fine for this. But what he did do was I was part of an information private personal PPI private personal information breach. I was part of that with a health insurance company. And what he did, I gave him a call when I got the letter, and it said that mine and my kids' information was breached. And I was like, what should I do about this? Like credit. And he goes, negotiate credit monitoring for at least 20 years with them for the kids. And I go, why? And he goes, because if they got your kids' information the minute they turn 18, they're going to start taking out loans and doing things and wrecking their credit. They're not worried about yours. They think you're going to be watching it, but they're going to take your kids' personal information. And so I negotiated credit monitoring for them all the way up until they're 20 years old. So, there's some missing pieces of the puzzle. I don't think it's your credit, but I think it's the way that you're trying to spend your money. And it's the way that you're trying to borrow on that money. So, I would be very careful about that. They will find a better way for you to go. But you need to bring the professionals in, because what you're doing is actually hamstringing yourself right now. So if you've got people enlisted for this, maybe check out some other people and see, what you can get out of them. See, it doesn't hurt. Like, being loyal is great, but also you want to make sure that you get the best help possible. So Cindy, your husband had two spirits come to him, and I wish I had known that. So here's the thing. I think all of us are capable of having that connection to spirit. I think all of us are able to do that. Just some of us are, Mary Lou Retton, and some of us have to work a little bit harder. People like Rick and I, we had spirits come to us and say, hey, it's time to wake up, open your eyes, start to talk to people. I have a job for you to do. I want you to uplift other people. I want you to, and that's really what I'm doing. And I do warn people, if you ever go to a psychic and they're like, girl, you're in danger. Like, we're not all Whoopi Goldberg. Oda Mae. We're not Oda Mae. I do love that scene where she's like, girl, you're in danger. I do this to help people, and anyone that says anything short of that is really, really mistaken. And I am a very moderately priced psychic. There are ones out there that are charging, charging a fortune. $400 an hour, $500 an hour. People that want to think that I'm grifting. I'm certainly not. Wear my diamonds, wear my furs. Wear your pearls, wear your furs. Stella, wear your pearls, wear your furs. Streetcar Named Desire. Love that play. When I was a little girl, my grandfather, I wasn't a little girl, I was a little girl, but my grandfather had me rewriting scenes for that to make them funny instead of intense. My grandfather was a playwright and involved in theater. And we had some fun with that, probably where I got my writing thing from. So I do think we all have that gift. Just some of us don't get to see it right away. Texas Sweet Life, you just made my day a little bit sweeter. Thank you so much with the 999. Love that. 999, we're launching into the next phase. Nines are we launch into the next phase. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And I'm going to skip over here. So we got Nicole. Is it completely over between Matt and I? Will I ever hear from him again? Let me see. So yeah, someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you why we touched and went our separate ways. Um, the lesson has been learned from that relationship, and you guys are now on different paths, different pathways for both of you. Your pathway is to find stability in that emotion and giving birth to new relationships. Becky, you did drop Rob's link. Thank you so much. I see it there. So it is so expensive in Canada, Sophie. I hear that. It is really expensive here too. Merc, you're seeing 999 a lot because we're going into universal year 1. That's why we're ending out this phase and cycle, all of us together. So the relationship that is ending with Matt, Nicole, is giving you. So when you're on a boat, you have ballast, and that keeps you afloat. And sometimes you got to throw that ballast over. Sometimes you got to get rid of it. Becky, get out of here. I'll see you later. Go on. Love you, gal. I'll text you later. Tell the fam I said hey, conchonery. Thank you for being a mod, Becky. I love you with the spanner. Looks good on you. So back to Nicole. Nicole, the lessons that you learned are that, honoring oneself, being in love. And I tell my kids this all the time, like love is an action. It is, when people say, oh, I'm in love, the heart wants what the heart wants. Bullshit. The heart does not want what the heart wants. The heart sometimes goes in a completely ass backward direction. So for you, the heart is always with you. Love is always within you. Love thyself. Don't give it away, give it away, give it away now. Don't give it away. There are recipients that your fount of love will water and help them grow. You will help other people feel free to be a font of love themselves. You're leading by example. Thank you, Merck, for catching that. You're leading by example, not getting a project person that you have to kind of train to be better. We don't have to train people. No more projects. Be the best that you can be. Be awesome. As Melania Trump says, be best. I love the Be Best campaign that she did. This is truly about being happy in your skin, being happy on your own, doing the fun things. I may do a puzzle later. I felt like I should do a puzzle today. I don't know why. In our solitary situation, we don't need to feel lonely. Being alone is not lonely. Sometimes being alone is a condition that we just have a slow smile spread across our face. Like it is a good place to be. There are some days that I'm like, I just want solitude. I want no one to ask me to cook anything or deliver anything or drive them someplace or buy anything or secure something or take care of a pet or clean up vomit. Like I just don't want that. But there have been moments where everyone has been out of my house lately. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be weird because next year I have both kids at uni and I'm going to have an empty house. And I think that is going to be very, very weird for me. So I am trying to do the opposite of what I think Nicole should be doing. Nicole should be reveling in the moments of privacy. Take a long shower. Give yourself like an all over shower and like a facial mask and get into bed and eat bonbons and watch TV. Like date yourself. So my girlfriend Eva, she is she works in insurance with me, but she's also psychic and works in hypnosis. And there was a period where neither of us were dating anybody. And I said, F it, I'm buying myself flowers. And she's like, that's a great idea. We should do that all the time. And I said, let's do it every Friday. Let's buy ourselves flowers every Friday. So we went through this phase where we were just buying ourselves flowers and like coming home. And, I'm going to tell you, it made the weekends really awesome. We were both home with little kids. She has one kid. I have two. And we were both kind of recovering from the ends of the relationships with their fathers. And it was really great to not wait for somebody to pick up on the cues and buy me flowers or buy me chocolates. I kind of did it all myself, and it was actually I bought myself a ton of Victoria's Secret that year for Valentine's Day, and they were giving away truffles with it, and I had like 8 boxes of truffles because I just kept buying myself stuff. So honor yourself. Don't worry about reigniting this relationship. The lessons have been learned, and the lesson that you learned is that you can treat yourself. When you treat yourself best, Nicole, what's going to happen is others are going to meet that standard. And that is what you're doing in this moment. You don't have to lead those horses to water. You just have to let them see the pond and see how great that pond is and how well cared for that pond is. And they are going to meet the requirements. So no shirt, no shoes, no service. They're going to read that sign and they're going to show up in a tuxedo. So I hope that helps you, sweetie pie. I hope that helps you. So I wouldn't worry about ever hearing from him again because you don't need it. So out of the ashes usually rises the phoenix. So I'm going to give you, my friend Rick Paul, a raise your vibration card. Shift your perspective, my friends. I actually, it looked like it said shit your perspective. Don't do that. Shift your perspective, Rick Paul. And this is something like when we are struggling, and psychics do this a lot, guys. Like I want you to know this. Like, if we don't shield ourselves properly, oh, good for you. Good for you, Lucy. So when we shift the perspective and we look at the things that we are doing well to support things. So look at it like this. Like I use a lot of house analogies when I teach the minor arcana. But if we're looking at the whole house, and the whole house needs all new windows that are going to cost us, I don't know, $70,000 here in the United States, $70,000 to put all new windows in your house. I'm not even kidding. That is a real number. But maybe there's a hole in a wall from a doorknob that went through it. And maybe there's a cabinet that's a little loose. My cabinets all went loose. I don't know what's going on. They all went loose and they're kind of flapping. I need to address that. We need a new kitchen. We are not doing a new kitchen because, again, $100,000 for a new kitchen. So all these big numbers. So this grifter psychic is not grifting enough. But you can go in there and you can take the hinges off and you can correct the hinges. You can go in there and you can clean the windows rather than replace them. You can repaint them. Shifting your perspective from the overwhelming task at hand to the little things. You can just adjust those little things and make your world a little bit nicer, a little bit brighter. There's something said like, and this, I love this. Like when people wash their cars or have their cars detailed, sometimes the car runs a little bit better. People laugh about that all the time. The car's like running a little bit better. Like what's going on? The radio sounds better when you clean the inside of your car. Sometimes shifting your perspective and putting a little bit of energy into, the overall will correct some of the little things. And sometimes correcting the little things will adjust the overall. I hope that makes sense. I'm getting a little flaky here. But Rick, I think Rick does amazing, important work. I think he does. He kind of adjusts the spirit. He's like a spiritual chiropractor, adjusts the spirit for people and tries to make those corrections. I work with the day to day. I have people calling me about their love life like we just had. I've got people that are asking me about, work life. Should I change my job? Should I, pack it all in? Should I liquidate everything and live that expat life? What should I do? We're looking at the day to day. Rick looks at the overview of the soul and getting people to get on the right course of action for their very best future. So, good stuff. I think we raised some vibes today. Love my guy, Kyle Gray. I don't know him. I would love to know him. I don't even know where you find him. I think he's on Hay House when they do live events a lot of the time. Again, Kyle Gray, Grey, British spelling. I spell it that way. If you guys didn't know that, and I always get in trouble for it. People give me a hard time about it. I make European sevens too, and my first grade teacher, Miss Sweeney, told me, I don't want to see any flags on your sevens. They're not flags. I'm making a European 7. That's the way I make my 7s. I'm very world aware family. So, world traveler. Yes. So it makes sense. I'm glad, Rick. And neurodivergent. Rick and I are both neurodivergent. So, it's a fun, spicy environment in our heads. So, guys, if anybody has any last questions, you can ask away. Ask away. Ask away. Ask me anything. We're at the Ask Me Anything section. You guys can ask anything. Anything. I don't know if we finished out Camilla's year. I don't even know if I did that. We've been on for quite some time. Because once I wrap this up, I'm going to go probably eat a marshmallow. And maybe I'll even roast a marshmallow for you guys. I'll do it on a short. It'll be fun. But I am going to be... And Rick is jumping out of here. Tricky Ricky. Almost this is an unusually long live for me. I don't really do lives this long, but I felt like I owed it to you guys. Oh, there's Dave Murphy. I thought I saw you go by in the all right, so we're getting some rapid questions. It's good to see you, Dave Murphy. Good morning to you, friend. Tom's feeling would like for us to be together. Last time you have to move for us to be together. Let me see. Tom's feelings. Judgment. I told you. So Tom would love to be in a situationship with you, but you got to make the move. You're drifting further apart. So make sure, say the things that you have to say, Merc. Say the things that you have to say. Don't wait. Do not wait. Don't wait. Tiny Tim, you're a hottie in the chat. Tiny Tim, let me throw you some cards. I saw you say before that you were in the spa for a little bit. It's not the worst thing in the world. I have family members that had to go to the spa. That's what we call it in our family. Went to the spa for a little while. Timmy Turner, let me throw you some cards, my friend. Timmy was an average kid. Timmy Turner, what do you need to know to a horse? Timmy Turner, for the rest of the week, for the rest of the year. Okay. Oh boy. Zeph, stick around. I'll read on that right now. So Timmy Turner, for the rest of your week, what I want you to do, or the rest of the year, what I think you should do is figure out where. Thanks, guys, for dropping all these questions. Stick around. I'll stay on. I'm going on Hipsy hours after this. So what you should do is underwrite your energetic expenditures. What does that mean? That means really figure out who's going to bring the most value to you in the next year. And this is the time where you kind of go back and contemplate what enriches your life versus what is extra folly. Okay. Find the fundamental people and things that enrich your life and make those your baseline. Other fun things are going to come into the equation in the new year. More excitement, more fun people, more frivolity will come in, but find your footing and your foundation first. Find the people that bring value to you. Find the things that bring value to you. So, is it spot on? That's fantastic. So, I do think that your new year is going to be spent in this beautiful cocoon. So I don't know if like you watch the Twilight Zone marathon. My daughter and I love to watch that. And I will be watching that on either ends. Greg and I have an event that we have to go to. But my daughter and I will be holding up and doing that. Valuable time for me. I like doing that with her. It is one of my favorite things to do over winter break. Don't worry about filling your dance card, if that makes sense, with the fun stuff. This is not fun stuff. Your fundamentals are it's not, terrible stuff. But it's things that empower you, that bolster you. It is the people that, if you do the trust fall, that they're going to catch you. They're not going to flake off. These people may flake off, the fun stuff that's going to come later on. So I want you to really be judicious about underwriting where you want your life to go. Remember that, living with purpose brings prosperity. Prosperity doesn't have to be money. It can be good living. It can be stress-free living. So is this an overall? Yeah, this is a good card spread. The nines are completion. You're done with the bullshit. They're cursing psychics today. Anna Millis cursing. This is being done with the nonsense. And this is once we have good fences. This lady here, she's in the walled garden and she is protected. So protected from the nonsense of other people's business. I've been watching Breaking Bad, and Breaking Bad is like a study in other people's nonsense for poor Jesse Pinkman. So, making sure that you put up good fences, that you have good walls, and that you are protecting yourself from damage from others. Here, the fun stuff. The people that are, quote unquote fun in the current situation may cause you some drama. Here, if you protect yourself well and you really sketch out the people and the places and the things that you want around you, what is going to happen is that you will have fun people, good, clean fun, people that are going to bring value to the table. So think more exciting adventures than misadventure. Dave Murphy, my favorite word that you gave me in the last couple of weeks, misadventure. We'll have adventures versus misadventures. I hope that helps. So I think you're going to have a great year. The 7 of Cups is about all of the interesting riches that can come to our world. The fun stuff, the good stuff. If you look, those choices there, we've got we've got the Medusa head. I'm trying to bring this down a little bit. We've got, not the Medusa head. What am I talking about? We have the statue, which is in perpetuity. We've got the surprises. Snake is transformation. We've got down there the little dragon, which is power. Laurel wreath is success. We've got jewels and riches in there. And then we have the tower, which is enlightenment, elevation, those kinds of things. All of that will be available to you. Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's on TV right now. So yeah, you're sending. Oh, Timmy Turner said he's sending a lot of people. Timmy Turner, I am trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and I'm just over 8,000. So anybody you want to send my way, so be it. Share with them my Hipsy link. I'll drop it again. There we go. Can order readings on there, recorded readings. You can also get me live. You know, I do chat, video, and phone call readings on there. So I'm gonna be open hours for the rest of today. If anybody wants to get their boogie on with me, the recorded readings are pretty cool though. They takes me a couple days to get them done, but recording reading, yeah. Misadventure. That's going to be my new YouTube channel, Misadventure. So, everybody's dropping the link. Thank you there. Thank you. You have over 100,000 subs on socials. Timmy Turner, you're my favorite. Send me an email, fortunecookiestarot@gmail. What is your secret? Is it those Fairly Odd Parents that you have? Guys, Timmy Turner is a character on a cartoon called Fairly Odd Parents, and I watched it as an adult. Zero bots. I don't have any bots, but I have I got haters. Oh, Susan, Timmy. Listen, I appreciate you. Thank you. It's always a delight to see you show up here. Susan, I am sorry that you're not feeling well. Everybody's got the flu here in New Jersey. I had friends that had devil's tickets. It was their Christmas present. They just gave them away because they're all sick with the flu. We're a little congested over here. We had a little cold that kind of went through our house. The cats had it. Cats are still sick with it. But let me get to some of your questions. I started a whole bunch of them while I was waxing poetic here. All right. So I got Zeph with and I'm going to apologize in advance to my viewers on the vert because you're not going to be able to see this very well, but I'm reading on this. I'm doing a full-blown reading. All right, let's talk about Zelensky arriving at Mar-a-Lago. All right, so what is his disposition going to meet with the leader of the free world, the Orange Man, Donald J. Trump? Disposition of Zelensky. He's defeated. He's got nothing left, no gas left in the tank here.
Mom?
Oh, hold on 1 second, kids.
Come up, I have friends for you.
All right, guys, sit tight for a second. Sorry about that, kids. My son's friends who haven't been over here in quite some time are all here looking at his new car. He has an Audi. He has a nicer car than I do. And his father bought it. I didn't buy it. So everything's okay. It's just these boys. I'm like their other mom. So they're all good kids. They're really good kids, and we haven't seen them in a while. Our house is really yes, Kaiser, I am taking donations, super chats. Yes, absolutely. I'm staying on. If you guys are here, I'm here. So yeah, sure thing. You can also, Kaiser, you can order a reading over there. If you want to get a private reading, I'm going to be on live after I shut this this live down. But right now, and I'm going to start this over again. Let me clip it here. So we're reading on Zelensky arriving at Mar-a-Lago, and I'm going to do fairly quick reading on this. Kaiser. Yeah, he wouldn't let me throw any pennies in it, so I got to put a little red ribbon in it to keep him safe. All kinds of crazy, energetic stuff that I do. But so Zelensky is there on bended knee. He is arriving at Mar-a-Lago. He's got no gas in the tank. He's out of control. He's lost power in his country. And under the surface, he really doesn't want to partner with Trump at all in the United States, but he's doing it. Energy that he needs to bring. This is the reckless energy that he really should abandon. And again, I'm sorry if you're on the vertical. I'm doing a little bit of a larger spread here. We'll talk about Bridget Bardot in just a second, Dave. So up top, this is the problem with Zelensky. He goes in and says one thing, and then he comes back and he says something else. Like he really does talk out of both sides of his mouth. He doesn't have a choice, Zeph. You're absolutely right, but he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. That Tower card makes me a little bit nervous. You are making me very, very nervous. So what is that Tower card? We're going to clarify that. I'm going to use the itty bitty vintage Rider-Waite. So I got this back in 1990, maybe. It's an old deck. Old deck. I got you, Kaiser. Stick with me. I got a bunch of questions, and this reading is going to be a little bit long, but I got you. Sit tight. Timmy Turner, I got you too. I guess we're just staying on here all day. I'll just stay here. Wait, who did? Zeph, who kicked out a reporter? Trump? So, the Tower. So I think what that Tower moment is for Zelensky is that Trump knows his game. He knows that he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. How does Zelensky see himself? As super, super unhappy. Let me just show you guys that. Super, super unhappy. His world plans are not working. How do others see him? They've got him where they need him to be. They actually have to handle him very deftly. So the Strength card is about the pressure that it takes to create diamonds. It is also the pressure that we need to exhibit when we are taming a wild creature. So a lion is always a lion. A snake is always a snake. We have that old moral tale about the frog and the snake, or the frog and the scorpion stings the frog after he takes him across the way. So this business about manhandling or managing the way that Zelensky is behaving is how everyone is seeing that we can't just keep filtering him money. So what our hope is that we are going to get a swift conclusion and information about that. Ultimately, look, he's gonna cause a ruckus, and we all saw him do this before. We saw Zelensky do this before, where he got in the face of JD Vance and he got lippy, and Trump had to turn around and had to give him a little verbal smackdown. WWF, here comes Donald Trump with the steel chair. Not a problem. Not a problem. So let's see. We all know what Trump's going to do. How is this going to work out? What is our final outcome of this? Final outcome. I just want to give this a real good shuffle. High Priestess. I'm going to tell you, they're going to make him an offer he can't refuse. So Zelensky is stuck between a rock and a hard place. I do think that he is going to be a little bit flip. Timmy, I didn't see your I didn't see your aggressiveness. That's okay. I'll come back. We are not throwing you out of here. Don't worry, Timmy Turner. You are a VIP. You're allowed to be a VIP here. So I think that they're going to, you're playing with World War III. That was what Donald Trump had said to him the last time. I think they are going to tell him privately. This is, and this is a private conversation right here, guys. I think they're going to tell him, you are in danger. Yeah, girl, you're in danger. I just said, I'm not saying that. Girl, you in danger. I think they're going to tell him that there is intelligence, that he is not in control of his future at this point, that there are going to be others that will step into power. That there are others that are, if Zelensky does not cooperate with the rest of the West and kind of shut this whole thing down and let us all correct the situation together. And again, I am not being a Russian sympathist, even though I love Russia. Ya lublю Russia. That if he doesn't do that, that he is in danger of being eliminated. You guys know what I mean? Eliminated. So I do think that that is a private conversation. I think they have lots of intelligence that there are threats around his leadership at this time. So interestingly enough, we also saw there was a great deal of security around the royal family, and an excessive amount of security around the royal family, which was lets me think that there have been some interesting threats to it. So I think that they are really going to illustrate to Zelensky that he is not in a position where his leadership is safe or secure. Guys, I'm sorry. I have never been to Russia, sadly. I wish that I had been. Blah, 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 blah. Credible threats. Yes, absolutely. 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 Timmy Turner, Russian women are spectacularly beautiful. Spectacularly beautiful. So everyone thinks like they're like the big like matron, like Olga, no, they're gorgeous. Really, really beautiful. And a very diverse kind of beauty as well. So Lucy, yeah, it really was pretty obvious. Timmy, so one of the things I'm doing is I'm grading my 2025 predictions. I'm using 3 different forms of AI, and ChatGPT is like my go-to. So ChatGPT is doing the collection of the information, and I drop all so what I do is I drop my transcript into the 3 different AIs, and I ask them to compare and contrast my 2025 predictions against what is actually in the news, and then it spits out a grade. The worst one I've gotten so far was my Queen Camilla one from 2025. I only got about 60% I think it was 60 or 65%. That was not my best one. But I have 80 to 85% on the other ones. Before New Year's, I will have my final grade, my final grading. But do I ever miss? Yeah. But one of the reasons why I did the grading this year, AI is a great tool. But I think that it's really important to have some accountability. So if I'm wrong, I do want to know that I'm wrong. We've all predicted Harry and Meghan splitting up. They're not together. Lucy, I actually was kind of surprised at the 60%. I thought I got a little bit better. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, because I do it. I do my predictions, my annual predictions, month by month or quarter by quarter. So it's a little bit easier for AI to kind of track that. So I thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, so all right. So let's see. So that was Zelensky. Let's do Haley. Is 2026 going to be a good year for you? Let's see. Oh my God. Zeph and Hamilton. That's, New Jersey's really small. It's not that far from me. That's terrible. Were they military or were they civilian? We have the crazy black helicopters go over our house all the time. That's terrible. Solarian, I don't like the hugging either. I think it is a security risk, and I don't think that they should be doing it. The royal family. All right, Haley, 2026. What's your first quarter of 2026 going to be? A theme of the year. Theme of the year first. Stick around, Day. Day 1991. Oh my God, were you born in 1991? Dana, you got good questions. So theme of the year is right now, struggle and working. I want this. So Haley, the theme of your year is pouring out the cup to receptacles that are not necessarily ready to receive what you are putting out. Partnerships will leave you feeling empty. And you really should strengthen yourself. Again, it's like another, like a bit of a selfish kind of perspective here. Going into the year, being very, very resolute is really the word I want to use. Resolute about giving of yourself to people that are willing to receive it. That's so, like, no giving advice to people if they don't take it. Like, don't even bother anymore. Just kind of tra-la-la with your world, and don't necessarily waste your wind as you're speaking to them. So I think 2026 is a year, and I'm wondering what send me an email, and we'll figure out your numerology for the year. fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. Send me an email, and I'll we'll just figure out your numerology, or you can follow the Yellow Brick Road on my other channel, or on my other videos, and you can see how you just add up your birth date, month, day, year, all 4 year numbers, add it up, reduce it down to a single number, and you just keep adding the numbers together. So I'm curious what your year is. We're in a universal year 1 for everyone. So 2026 is a universal 1 year. So that means it's a new start for everything. We're going to see new starts of the economy, governments, those kinds of things. So for you, it seems very much that you're kind of shrugging off more baggage. You know, I just like Timmy Turner was shrugging off some baggage and only incorporating the things that are going to bring value into his world. This is more about you not wasting your resources with people that are not worthy or not accepting it. The ones that are worthy and do want to accept it, you're going to know right away. You're going to know where that investment of your guidance and your information is best placed. So do that. Do that. So I hope that that helps. Merc, I got your question over here, but I want to answer that later. Merc, I'm going to answer this one later. So I'm going to, this is like, do me a favor, Merc, copy your question in Hipsy and email it or text it to me, and I will answer that separately. I'm not going to answer it here because I think it's just a little too big. So just send that over to me and we'll do that quietly on the side, me and you. Haley, you are very, very welcome. Very, very welcome. Oh, here, I can do like a little one. See, living. Why does he keep saying we can't? Short answer. I don't think he's over the ex. I think he's still kind of in that gray area. But send me a text and I promise you I will do it today. I promise you, before I sit down and start watching Breaking Bad again. Brigitte Bardot. I love Brigitte Bardot. She was one of the reasons why I was so excited when Claudia Schiffer became a well-known model, because I was like, oh, we got another Brigitte Bardot. She was an animal advocate, wonderful, wonderful person, absolutely stunningly beautiful. Some people said that she didn't age very gently, but you know what? I think she lived a really, really real life. 91 years old. That's a great life. If you ever want to see an adorable wedding dress, her wedding dress that she wore, I guess it was in the 60s, was like a little party dress. It was the cutest thing ever, and she was just absolutely lovely in it. So so she will be sorely missed. I don't know if we will see the like of her again. So now, Kaiser, Erica, I hope you're still here, my friend. I hope you're still here. Shout out if you're still here. Shout out if you're still here. And I want to pull up a different deck for you. Erica, current thoughts and intentions toward you. Pisces and Scorpio. That's a fun mix. There you are, honey. Good to see you. Thanks for popping up. Kaiser Bingo. What a fun name to say. So, all right. All right. Penny, I got your question too. All right. So we're reading straight for Erica. Oh, she's got a lot on her plate. So, all right. Kaiser. And I'm sorry if you can't see this. Let me scooch these over because you are on the vert. Kaiser, I think that this Pisces, and Pisces are wild. Pisces are, they can sometimes be super, no, don't cover your eyes. Sometimes Pisces can be slippery fish. because they feel in the moment and they feel very, very deeply. There's a lot of conflict here in partnering because of the busyness of the oh wait, you're the Pisces. Oh, Timmy Turner's the Pisces. I was very confused there for a second. Slippery fish, slippery fish. Pisces broke my heart into a million pieces one time. So the Pisces, when you think about Pisces energy, they're very adaptable. They have to swim in the tide, swim upstream sometimes. There's a lot of conflict and a lot of living in the moment. They Pisces like to have things sweet and delicious and wonderful. They don't necessarily want reality a lot of the time. There's a lot of fantasy that goes into them. Scorpios are a little bit more realistic. They have their feet on the ground a little bit more. And I know this because my mother is a Scorpio. So this business, I do think that you guys are energetically very different. Greg and I, my husband and I, are very energetically different. He's a Capricorn, I'm a Cancer. He's very logical, and I'm like, woo, let's be weird. So, what I think is that if you are feeling rejection or that there's not an open door opportunity here to get into a relationship, I think it's just because you're energetically different. Whereas you are kind of doing the calculus of what that relationship would be like. And the Pisces is like, well, I don't want to say anything because I'm over here in my fantasy land. So, are the intentions to have a permanent, great place? Yes, intellectually, permanent, great relationship, stable energy here. But am I making the right choice? Is this Pisces here? And I don't want to make a choice. I don't want to move forward. I'm going to block myself from moving forward with this Chariot card because I'm not sure if this is the right choice for me. I don't know what's around the corner. But there is this inherent natural urge to go on adventure. So if you could be a little bit more adventurous, I think that the Pisces softens up and kind of comes into your world. Up here, the Wheel of Fortune, really reliant on fate and good things to come into them. So one of the things I do want to point out about the Fool is the Fool card. The Fool himself is going on an adventure, Bilbo Baggins kind of adventure. But the Fool does not see that there is any possibility for failure. If they get a flat tire, what they're going to do is they're going to get out of the car and maybe have a smoke and a drink with the people at the gas station while they're waiting for it to get fixed. If they make a wrong turn, they may find the best relationship that they've ever seen around the corner. They may wind up having the best steak of their life. They may wind up meeting a publisher and they finally get their book published. That all these exciting things are born out of happy accidents. And so I think that this individual does fairly believe in fate and magic, and there's that meme that says, how did you land mom? Well, I texted her at 11:11 and she thought it was I texted her every day for a week at 11:11 and she thought it was magical. It's not about hoodwinking somebody like that, but it is more so about embracing their baseline of fantasy and wonder. I think that this individual has a lot of fantasy and wonder in them. If you have a lot of fantasy and wonder in you, I'm not talking salaciously. I'm not talking about weird, hotels with themed rooms or anything like that. But I think if you can embrace that a little bit of fantasy and wonder, I think that you wind up getting on the same page. Right now, you guys are asking too many questions about each other. So yeah, does this make sense to you, Kaiser? Does this make sense? So we all need that. So Penny Jonas just said, the fool has SpongeBob's imagination stats. Imagination, Ethan. So I think, just kind of leaning into being a little more, I don't want to say reckless, but adventuresome. For you, taking that risk, rolling the dice. Hey, you know what? I really like you. And here's a box of cookies that I know you like. And I'm just going to go away. And, call me when you have some free time and we can go on a date. I do think that this is a good match for you, but I think you guys are both overthinking it. So one of you has to be the bigger person in this and has to stop overthinking it. So we're giving out gifts today, guys. We're giving out long ass readings. So I hope you like that, Kaiser. And I hope you come back here and you tell us that I have a date with Pisces. Maybe like a little, no high pressure stuff like, hey, let's go out on Valentine's Day. Low pressure stuff like, maybe you want to get breakfast on New Year's Eve, not a New Year's Eve date, but you and I get breakfast on New Year's Eve and kick it out and have some fun. Good morning, Grace. It's good to see you here. So Kaiser, thank you for your contribution. It's great to have you here. We're going to jump over to Timmy Turner, who says World War III once Trump is gone. So Trump is kind of Hodor right now. Hodor. Oh, Kaiser, you are very welcome. Very welcome. I'm trying to get to 10,000. So tell your friends, share this content. So, excellent. Thank you, Merck. Thank you for texting me. So World War III, once Trump is gone, let's fast forward. Now, a brief word about free will. So, free will, we could have another election kerfuffle. We could have all kinds of crazy stuff that goes on between now and then. But is Trump holding the door? He's holding the door lightly. World in reverse. He is right now the guardian at the gate, holding us from flipping over into the next phase. Once he is gone, 3 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. So once he is gone, once he is out of the position of supreme control, I do think that we have a little weffy, if you know, you know, a little bit of the Pentaveret. Those of you that are Mike Myers fan, the Rothschilds, the Gettys, the Cardinal when he went tits up. I do think we have a little bit of them. Thank you, Timmy. I think them make kind of a hard court press for the reset of what they want. I do think that it's regretful. Is it successful though? I don't think it's successful. I think we are waiting in the wings. Lucy, I don't know if you can hype. You can hype the videos, like I think the production ones that are out there. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So that's Timmy. Are you in the US or are you in UK? I thought for some reason I thought you were in the UK. So Star, that is a really good answer. Star said there's a lady on TV when she asked if she thinks there's going to be World War III. She said, not in my dimension. I love that. So, oh, you're in the US too. Oh, good on you, man. God bless America. I think that they continue to operate a little bit longer in the back room. So that's yeah. Oh, are you Timmy Turner? I'm jealous. I felt forced. Yeah, my husband and I got the same one so that we'd be in the same weird camp. So, it is what it is. I definitely felt forced to contaminate myself. Didn't affect my psychic ability though. So again, watching Stranger Things, like, that Hawkins lab, very interesting stuff going on. If you guys haven't watched it, get in there, go watch it. Everybody's still with us. So mine was not. So Timmy, mine was not, because I started to have circulation issues after when I exercise, my hands and feet swell just since that. So I hope that they did. I tried to do the clean out. I don't know if it worked. So, kind of stinky. I should have fought back on that. So I don't know if Day Day is here. Day Day, 1991. Day Day. Great profile picture. Do I think Leeds United will stay up in the Premier League? No, they will not. Do I like blue top milk or green top milk? I'm not in the UK, so I'm a 2% organic kind of milk gal. Kirkland, 2% organic milk. It lasts forever. And is it okay to wear white trainers in the rain? Absolutely not. Your nipples will show through. No, I'm kidding. White trainers in the rain? Who does that? You got to go clean those sneakers. So sneakers, trainers. But Day Day, good to have you here. I hope you're still here. You got your answer. Penny, 2026 is going to be a big change for me. I'm getting rid of my car because my eyesight is failing. Mine is too. Which part, Dave? Solarian, you're gonna have to hold me to that, because I am never going to remember that I did that, because I don't follow any sports, let alone football in the UK. I don't follow any sports. No interest. So, are you doing the right thing, Penny? So, I do think you're doing the right thing, Penny, but I think your perspective, you're looking at it a little bit differently. You're looking at it as losing autonomy, losing control. Don't look at it that way. Okay? How you should be looking at it. A little bit more luxury. Look at it as a more luxurious thing. And I think your perspective changes, and you're going to discover that you really didn't need that kind of autonomy all of the time. This, I think, our outings become more purposeful and richer. So instead of just going to the shops, just going out to pick up the messages, it becomes more of an event where, there's a lunch planned. And so one of the things that happened at the end of the year, I actually was picked up. I picked up a little side gig with, I'll say it, Dior, with one of my friends is a makeup artist for them. And so I picked up a little side gig for a hot minute. I actually had to step back because it was taking too much time away from this business. And I'm going to revisit it in the new year with them. But going into the stores, there was this emphasis on luxury and on having an experience. And so I reflected on the mall that we had here when I was growing up, which is closing down presently. And one of the things, in one of the department stores, they had a ladies' lounge when I was a little kid, and there was a hair salon next to it. So you could go to, it was nearby it. You could go to the ladies' lounge. There was a bathroom. There was like an actual living room area that you could go in, and you could sit with your packages for a little while. You could smoke in there. That's how long ago it was. And then the hair salon, like you could go and get a wash and set, or you get a haircut. And I actually used to get my haircut there with my mom. It was a different experience. And I think that for you, I see you there, Lucy. I got your question. I think your experience of giving up your car and your license, I want you to look at it as more luxurious like that. So your shopping events will not be just running to the store, popping off for a few minutes and picking up a few things. It'll be a more purposeful kind of planned out day, and then you get to come home and put your feet up with your little package of takeout food or whatever it is, and you've been out of the house and you've had an event. And I think that you need to look at it more like that. This is going to bring you closer to some of the other people in your life. So, you'll be doing events with them. Don't feel like you're a burden. You are a gift to everyone in your life. There are always people that when the phone rings and it's us, they light up. They absolutely light up. So, I don't want you to look at that in that fashion. If you are going to be taking public transport or something, you can limit your time so that you can take like an Uber or a hired car versus taking public transport. If you're just going to one place, you can zip right over. If you're in the United Kingdom, I love the black cabs. I love them. But I want you to look at this as luxury versus reducing your autonomy. Do that, and I think you're going to feel a lot differently about it. Changing our mindset and our perspective really does help us sometimes. So let me see. Do I have any more questions over here? All right, we've got Lucy coming right up. There we go. All right, Lucy, I'm going to switch decks just because this one needs a little bit of a clean out. We'll throw some selenite on it. Oh, very welcome, Penny. Thanks, Timmy. Yes, you're going to finish that degree. But Queen's whisper, King's command. So if you are still studying, I want you to revise the way that you're studying. I don't mean stop studying. Please don't do that. But I want you to revise the way that you're approaching the information. If it's your fourth degree and they're related, I guarantee you that you've got some cross-contamination from the other degrees, meaning that you already know some of this stuff. So instead of beating yourself over the head with a book, I want you to gently take yourself into the future and revisit the past and the information that you already have. The studying for this degree is not the kind of studying that you did for your first degree. It is more of the house is built, you need to decorate it. If that makes sense, I hope that makes sense to you. So you're just picking out the fabrics and deciding what rugs. You've already picked the tiles. The tiles are already there. The fixtures are already there. The appliances are already there. You need to make decisions about what the softer parts of your degree is going to be. That I think makes a lot more sense. So you are going to finish it, but you need to change the kind of focus that you have on it. 5 of Cups. Don't be disappointed. Death comes to all. We have the death card here. It's just this cute little, I don't know if he's a parrot or I don't know what he is, some kind of bird of prey, but death is transformation. So you're going to get through this, but you will slog through it if you don't change the way that you're kind of studying and approaching the material. So be gentle with yourself. 5 of Cups, don't let yourself get swept up into, am I going to get this one? Am I going to finish it? Am I going to get through my thesis? Am I going to get through my final exams? I don't want you to get swept up in that. I want you to look at what you already know. The body of knowledge is more important than the finger of information that you have right now. That was something that just came to me. So I hope that that helps, Miss Lucy. I hope that that helps. So, all right, Merc. So wait, Merc, I am going to do two things here. Hold on to that question you just put here. What is it? So questions about Tom. So I'm going to clear out your question over there on Hipsy. I'm going to bring that beat back. Did I tell you guys that I chatted with my ex-husband when my friend Tiffany passed away? I reconnected with my ex-husband. He's doing well. Life is good. And I just reaffirmed there's no hard feelings between us. We actually had like the best divorce ever. Okay. Lucy, that does make sense. That's great. All right. All right. So you're saying I just saw Merc. All right, there we go. Will Tom ever get over his past? You know, he does kind of I got you, Grace. Sit tight. I'll get you next. He does kind of live on that. You know, there are some people that take events in their life and they use it to define themselves. So I'm going to clear out your question over here. So that's cleared out. There are some people that so I you know, oh Lucy, I'm glad that made sense. Good luck, honey. There's some people that like a cheerleader. Some people will, I was a cheerleader in school. I never defined my world on it. I got in trouble because I dyed my hair pink, and that was back in like 1984, 85. And it was a huge scandal. I had to fight for a whole bunch of stuff. So, there's some people that are just like, oh my God, I'm a cheerleader. You're 55 years old, Susie. You can't be a cheerleader now. You're not a cheerleader anymore. Greg, actually, my sister said it to me. I dislocated my own knee. And after going on a long run and then doing some yoga, and I dislocated my knee right in front of my neighbor. And he was like, oh my God, like, what is wrong with you? It was like Vecna got me. And my sister's kids, two of her kids had 3 ACL surgeries between them in like a year and a half. And I said, they repaired them. And so I said, well, if it's my ACL, I'll, when I go to the doctor, they'll just fix it. And she goes, Anna, no, they won't. You're not an athlete. And I was like, yeah, but I'm only like 42 years old. Like, I need this leg. And so Greg routinely says that you're not an athlete. And I'm like, no, it's not funny, guys. I certainly was an athlete. But this trauma that he went through, I said, like, I defined myself as an athlete, but not a cheerleader at, 50 years old. I still want to be an athlete. I still want to go back to being an athlete. But he is allowing, going back to Tom, he's allowing his past to be the personal definition for himself. And he does not see that there is a way to change that. So, we see this with people that maybe have substance abuse issues. And I'm not broad brushing here, but like sometimes if someone has a substance abuse issue and they go into recovery, they always feel like they have like this stain of addiction on them, and that no one's ever going to trust them because they have a past, they have a history, and I think that some people get stuck in those reputations and those personalities that we have adopted at times. And for Tom, this isn't something that you can do. He's got to shed that skin. So again, like depending on his numerology, like maybe he's in a year one, maybe he is in a revolutionary year where he becomes something different. I think the work is his, and I think that it becomes glaringly obvious that he is not evolving. I think in the next 1 to 5 years, he's going to realize that he's not evolving the way that he should. And then he will put the work in. How can you best inspire him? By offering friendship, offering an open door policy of connection. And I think that unfortunately you are the heavy lifter in this, in the connection of the relationship. So if you do want to put a relationship in place, you have to be the Knight of Cups. You are the one who has to step into the situation and say, hey, I am going to set the pace for our relationship. I am going to put forth my likes, wills, desires, and the answer is yes or no. The answer is yes, you want to be in a relationship, or no, I don't want to be in a relationship. So, doing that puts you in a place of vulnerability. It puts you in a complicated place and a place where we can sometimes get hurt. Steel yourself before that. If he's going to say no, like I can be the ingredient in your life that is going to make things more flavorful and exciting, or I can be a big fat nothing burger and we can not moving forward. But I think that the task at hand is his. You are a gentle nudge, but the task at hand is his. He has to make the decision of whether or not he is going to move forward out of his trauma or prior situation. I don't want to say he is defining his past relationships failing and he's letting that define him. Yeah. So if you can convince him that everybody gets a blank slate, a sweat lodge is always good for that. I love a good sweat lodge. I actually want to build a sweat lodge in my backyard, and Greg is going to think that I'm completely insane, but you dig a pit and it's all muddy in there. Like you have mud in there and you create a fire and it's got, covers all over it. And then you put like a tent over it and you go in there and you just sweat your ass off and go on a vision quest. So sweat lodge is one of the things on my 2026 bucket list. Totally gross. You come out, you're all muddy and disgusting, but super, super fun. So yeah, nudge him along, Merc, and see what he does. You can hand him the book, but you can't make him read it. So I think, this is somebody who needs to decide that they're going to flip over and transform. It's not you that's going to do it. The relationship will be good if he lets go of all of his preconceived notions about what he is in a relationship, what his function is in a relationship. So, with that, we've got 32. All of a sudden, we had a bunch of people jump into the chat. We got down into the teens, and all of a sudden, a bunch of people jump back in. But I think I am going to close it up for now. Oh, Denise is live. Yeah, I'm going to close it up. So if you guys want to go visit Denise, so be it. Trev is on there too. I am going to drop a link for Hipsy. I will be live on there presently. So if you guys want to continue getting a magical reading, you can come on over there. But in the meantime, I want to tell everybody, thank you for all your donations. Thank you for your time. I know that this was a long live. This is probably one of my longer solo lives, but I appreciate your time. Mods, thank you for sticking with me through this. I really appreciate you guys as well. Merc, you're fantastic. 1 minute, man. 2 inches. Not enough. Violetta, it says, have a wonderful day. And that's my sentiment as well. Guys, Hipsy link is there. If you want to come over, I am going to go live in just a few minutes. And I will see you guys in the future.